What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's good, bro?
Man, everything's good, bro. It's a victory Monday, man. I feel great. It was a long night. You know, me and wifey actually went outside a little bit. Went down to to hang with the folks at Acashore. And yeah, it was a vibe, bro. It was a vibe. But you know, yeah, man, we won. So hey, man, everything's good today, man.
What a game. Beautiful.
Needed it. Loved it. Loved it. I can't wait to talk about it, man.
Yeah, it was awesome. Back-to-back games where
What's up? Talk your talk.
didn't come down to the wire. This one was different, though. This one hit different.
Oh, in a good way or a not so good way? Or we gonna get the details.
Great way.
Okay. I like it when it hit great.
Yeah. Even though, like I said, Raiders game had it wrapped up early fourth quarter, late third. This game was pretty much wrapped up in the same way, or like in the same time frame at least.
Yeah.
This one hit different.
Hit a little different though, huh?
Hit different.
Ooh.
Definitely hit different.
Okay. I would agree. I thought it hit a little different too, but I can't wait to hear why. For you, it hit a little different. I'm excited, man. It's one of them days.
It was all about us doing our
thing.
thing.
Talk your talk. It was one of them days, bro. Yeah.
About the refs, you know, gifting us some calls here or there, like what happened in the Raiders game. Yeah. None of that. It was just definitive. This was all about the Steelers dominating.
Good or good. And at times, I mean, the Jets did make some plays, but every single time, man, we responded and kept responding and kept responding in all three phases as well. I thought all three phases had some form of adversity that they all had to overcome. So we definitely are going to talk about that. Running game looking high again. I mean, since you did bring up the, last week, just figured this week too. Still look a little light. He said, it ain't just the White Sox. Don't you do me like that.
I didn't even notice what cleats or socks he had on.
You see?
He just ran good.
That's what I need,
What was
man.
he wearing? I don't even remember.
Yeah, black socks on this time. I was a little nervous when I seen him show up, and I'm like, hey, bro, are you sure you want to do this? But it worked out, man. It worked out. Now, what color cleats? I want to say he had black and gold cleats, though.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
all black.
Okay, I was say, yeah. It's menacing.
Yeah, didn't even notice.
And
is he allowed to rock the all whites, or would that be against the dress code?
It's frowned upon at times, but sometimes they let certain people get away with it. So, depending on how froggy he was feeling, he might have been able to get a little more leeway in certain situations than others.
Yeah, and with us rocking the throwbacks, maybe it had to be more in line with what the rest of the team was doing.
Yeah, I can see that. Then also on the front end of this thing, no Darnell Washington curse. A couple weeks ago, I tried to throw that on the podcast that if you come on the show, you might have a not so good game. I think we can go ahead and just keep putting that to rest because, Darnell showed up. It was good to see that from the homie. Good. And if y'all haven't had a chance to check out that interview that we had, what was that, last Thursday, man, definitely check that out as well, man. But, yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like it, man. All right. Do you have a Deke thought on the front end? Because, I'm just over here just happy, I like these happy wins. I like these feel good days like today, man. Just come in, big smile on my face. Like, let's go.
Russ might listen to the podcast.
Oh, okay. In a positive manner or a negative manner?
Good, because
okay.
He might have taken my advice on what to say after the game.
Talk your talk.
Did you see it?
I mean, I know what Russ said, yeah.
Okay. So, are you sure you know which one I'm talking about? The NBC
one
with Melissa Stark?
Go ahead, man.
So, she asked him at the end of the interview, it's Russell Wilson and Beanie Bishop. She asked Russ, hey, you did a catchphrase for Seattle.
What that was.
You did one for Denver. How do you want to sign off here? Hey, give us something.
Yeah.
And he held back. He showed restraint. He's like, you know what? No, we're not going to do anything right now. We'll wait till the end. She asked him again, you sure? He's like, no, we'll wait till the end. So he listened to what I said. Don't do any of this BS catchphrase stuff. You're going to jinx it. Don't ruin the moment. Let's just stay focused, locked in, stay humble, and just keep winning games.
Yeah, for him, man, different situation than his other experiences, man, where he is from start to finish, healthy, good to go, and, being the guy. Here, 2 months, man. since we really seen him out there. So yeah, I'm glad he decided to keep it a little quiet in terms of that.
And keep it quiet too.
Yeah.
Just stay quiet with that.
But awesome
He
job,
said,
though.
"Wait till the end. Wait till the end." That's exactly what you do.
But
Wait,
the thing that I
let
love,
the play do the talking.
But hold on, Deke. The thing that I love and something that I think a lot of people could also take, and learn from was also how selfless he was afterwards, though, man. He ain't take any of that credit, man. That dude was over here like, yo, shout out to Justin Fields. Shout out to these dudes. Like, yo, you check this guy out. Like, that's the part to me that was like my big takeaway, because we know, man, when it's as loud as it was getting between the Fields and Russ supporters leading up to the game, how quickly people showed their passion in the stadium at the game. It's like, yeah, he had every right to do and say certain things afterwards to really be like, yo, remember what y'all was saying? Media, fans, in stadium, everybody around the place. But once again, man, selfless, professional, and every single time, man, bringing it the way that you would to see it done, man. So I thought that was dope too.
He would never do that though,
because of his professionalism.
But he's always been that way. Yeah. I think it'd be different if it was a guy that would carry themselves in that fashion, a little bit more flamboyant, a little bit more out there, and then like flip a switch. But that's kind of how always Russ has been.
I'm just saying, I've never seen Russ come out as the starting quarterback for his team and be booed on the opening possession. I've never seen that.
Was he?
I was in the stage.
Wait.
Justin Fields.
Wait.
All right, yeah, you laugh it off if you want to.
Are you serious?
Bro, you laugh it off if you want. Bro, they were pissed off with Russ when Calvin Austin dropped the pass on the second series on third down.
Wait, the first series?
Bro,
is this after we kicked the field goal?
The first series, bro, they
there?
were pissed off at the fact that he even had to kick a field goal. The whole drive, it was Justin Fields would have done this. Justin Fields would have done that. Man, get Russ out of here. Calvin Austin dropped the third down pass in the second series. Justin Fields.
Come on.
No, don't come on me now. Justin Fields. And I'm sitting there here, me and wife, we just like, wow. That's about... He had 3 points on the first drive. Man, they played too much, and that's what we on the second drive off of a drop. Lord. Yeah. So that's the part for me where I'm like, I don't just look at that and say, oh, yeah, he's supposed to do it, because of course he would have, because he's never experienced that. Not in his first start with the new team. That ain't happened in Denver first time he started out there. It definitely happened in Seattle.
I don't know, but that's why Russ is who he is.
Absolutely.
His answer, I think, does reflect how he's handled himself his whole time throughout the NFL, and that's he just keeps it even keel, never too high, never too low.
And after what we experienced last year, where we tried to take that as a benefit of the doubt or say that all quarterbacks would operate like that, we unfortunately saw that that's not always the case. So that's another reason why I'm like, yo, shout out to Russ and shout out to Fields, man. I thought Fields was also very, very professional, at least in how he looked on the sideline, because we know that, once again, that's not always the case, man. You come on, man. I'm being nice about it, but you know how some of these, we'll just say, younger quarterbacks get when it's not going exactly how they might have wanted it to go.
You know what? I'm going to defend Pickett here, actually.
I don't want no problems.
It's not like Fields was smiling and was jovial out there.
No. He was locked in, though. Kenny didn't even have that look. And then we obviously know afterwards when they asked, hey, Kenny, did you learn anything? You know what his response was. We can ask Justin Fields. I don't think.
Right. At least
that's
Fields
all I'm
hasn't
saying, bro.
demanded a trade thus far. And you're right.
They both have been in uniform every time. No
said all the right
controversy
things
about were you supposed to dress, not dress, like nothing weird about any of that stuff. Bro, the rules changed, so we already know. We've seen Russ with eye black on this year. That's the emergency third when we knew he wasn't going to get a chance. And it was like, bro, hey, no weird stuff going on with either one of the guys. That's all I'm saying, man. Just everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. Professional. I like it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But as a whole, man, like, I think we're going to continue to be in a good spot, man. We're
in an amazing spot, actually, right now. We're in the exact spot we need to be in. And shout out to Tomlin for the decision that he made, because, we don't find out what Russ got unless you throw him in. And Russ made Tomlin look great.
I would agree, man.
Like, this is the exact spot we need to be in.
Yeah, I definitely would agree, man. Well, I mean, shoot, we know we got plenty.
Because we got our guy. Man.
I'm about to say
we got our guy. Russ is back. Russ is back.
He's
That's
there?
all I needed to see. He's back.
Convinced? You so?
Yeah, 100%.
Boop.
That's all I needed to see.
All right. I like it.
That's all I needed to see.
I like it. Hey, bro, you know I ain't tripping. I like it, bro. I like it. I just say no.
I knew Russ was always in there. It's still Russell Wilson, like the mentality, the heart of a champion. None of that stuff ever leaves. But I think it's fair to question if Russ still got the skills. He still got the abilities to that extent.
Why was that fair?
It's just fair to assume, given that he hasn't played for 6 weeks this season. You know, would have to knock off some of that rust. But then the whole Denver situation, just, you know, do you got it to that level? Because that was better than anything he did in Denver. If he was playing like that in Denver, I'm telling you, the Broncos aren't getting rid of him.
I would still say, though, that even last year in Denver, I've already pointed out, it's like, it was still a good. It's just because of who he is, the expectation
I'll give you
is greater than that.
So hear me out, though. But that's the thing, though. If we were just getting last year's Denver Russ, I think the point's valid of just keeping Fields in, because Fields was on a very similar pace to what Russ was doing last year. He would have ended up with like 30 total. Like if you extrapolate what he was doing those first 6 weeks over 17 games, it's close to 30 total touchdowns.
But you would have to include the turnovers as well, though.
Only one pick?
No, not the picks, the fumbles as well. And that's the part that people.
So one lost fumble.
Okay.
I get it. I know what.
About to say, but
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, because some of the fumbles we recovered, but it was still kill the series. I get you on that.
But either way, we're on the same page with how we look at things.
Like that. Yeah. That Russ performance was like.
I mean, this
elite Russ performance. That was 3 touchdowns, 260 plus.
Yeah. This is
like that was legit. That was legit. Yeah. It was. Yeah, it was.
Moonball and everything.
It wasn't like there was no question about, like, he looked comfortable, confident, like this was his offense. He took him in. Yeah. And it didn't start off that way.
Yeah, I respect on that, man.
And shout out to him. But he's always been a second half player. I was actually giving him patience, because, you know, thoughts do start creeping in the back of your mind with how the offense was starting, you know, those first 4 or 5 series. But if you understand who Russ is, it's like he's always a second half player. Like, we're only down a score here. We're only down, what, did it get to 10 points? Was it like 15-6?
I think at one
9
point,
points.
it was like 9 points. Yeah.
It was like, let this game play out. This is middle of the second quarter still.
Yeah. I like your patience. I do like.
I tried,
that,
and
I like your patience.
I did. Yeah, I tried, and it worked out.
Hey, you a real one, man. Well, I ain't gonna say that you, because there's other real ones out there as well. But you was real, man. I like that. I like the patience element. Not everybody has patience, and that's okay if you don't have patience. I get it. And everybody's gonna have that same level of patience, man. But as long as the end result is the win, that's all that matters.
Creeping in my mind, you know, 4 or 5 series in where we had like a few 3 and outs in a row. I can't lie.
I mean, I can understand that. Trust me, I can understand it, man.
You can't lie about it.
Yeah, we'll get into it, man. You weren't the only one that had those thoughts, man. Trust me on that, man. But we'll definitely get into it. But before we start today's show, you know we got to pay a bill real quick, Deke, because today's show is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. You see the promo. Actually, you don't see the promo. Now you see the promo, but you more importantly see the logo on top of Deke's head. Safe, secure, reliable, top rated. You know what time it is whenever we are talking DraftKings Sportsbook. But more importantly, for the new customers out there, man, we got special promos for you, man. When you make that first bet of $5, you'll receive $200 in bonus bets, man. It's a dope situation. Just make sure you use the promo code Moats, so that way you'll get everything going the way you need it to go for the opportunity to potentially make some more dough. All right, but we also know that at times you can get lost in the sauce. It happens a lot. And when that does happen, if you're living in New York, there's a number that you can text. But for everybody else, the number to dial is 1-800-GAMBLER. I said 1-800-GAMBLER. I said, you better go. 1-800 Now, let's start the show like how we always do. Drop it in the comment section where you are tuning in from, so that way we'll give those big boy shout outs to start today's show. And of course, don't forget to hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Shout out to Ethan Leach. He recommends me performing the national anthem at the next home game. Monday night versus the Giants. I could do that. I could see that. Let's see what else. This is okay. Country Malik said, with the volume turned down, I still can hear that angel of a voice. Salute you. You know, I try to do what I do. Jay Farrell says, man, he is so happy that his TV has the best speakers, because otherwise he wouldn't be able to hear the quality the way that it is. Respect right there, ladies and gents. Respect. And shout out to Eddie Shurik. Says, my boy just went to sleep. Thanks, Moats, for the assist. Man, I try to do that, man. It's real comforting. I got the voice like I'm singing lullabies. That's what I've heard.
Pete the Penguin's Ghost is tuning in from Jeff Reed's basement.
From Jeff Reed's basement. Shout out, Pete the Penguin. Shout out. Let's get it.
Jeff Reed has Pete the Penguin.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Or, no. Maybe Jeff doesn't have Pete the Penguin, like the stuffed Pete the Penguin, but Pete the Penguin's Ghost is just haunting Jeff Reed's house.
It could be that, too. Because maybe Jeff did something to Pete at some point. Jeff lives a great life, man. He should write a book. And if he did, he should write another one.
Hannibal 090-770 ATL Shawty.
ATL. Shout out to the ATL.
Rod Dollars tuning in from the 330. Youngstown, Ohio. Share a line.
Share a line.
Brandon Clark, 540, Roanoke, Virginia. Russ was the #1 fantasy quarterback yesterday.
Ooh, salute. Okay. I like that.
Winning on the real field and the virtual field.
There it is, man. Doing everybody a positive service right there. We like that.
Nick Ferrier, the 757, Hampton, VA.
Doug Crib. Let me tap in real quick because I got Kevin Siegel in the 850 Navarro Beach, Florida. Bust down in the SF, a.k.a. San Francisco, Yay area, home of Najee Harris. Shout out to Naj. Putting together another dope performance. Then after that, man, we got the homie Third and Big. I'm going to just go with that one because I don't know what the other part was. 805 Paso Robles, California. Wine country. Shout out to the wine country as well, man. Nothing like a good old bottle of wine, man. Yes, indeed. Bink the Patuzzi in the 412 Oakland. It says Steelers Nation, baby. Let's weld. Or what's Let's weld? Maybe it's Let's Ride. But maybe it's as well. I don't know. All right. Then from there, man, I'm going to end it with the homie Hollywood 931 in the 931 checking in. And he says, we have a QB. I think I would agree, man. QBs. We got two. More than capable. But with that being the case, let's go ahead and start these things off. Pop off. I think we got supers pulling up. So we'll go ahead and get it with them.
David Johnson gifted a Moats membership to Tyler from the 334.
Shout out to Tyler from the 334. And David, thanks for being an absolute rock star at life, paying it forward. But Tyler, welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Dondre
Azell says, no fumbled snaps, no picks, 260, and 2 touchdowns. The deep balls were hitting.
Boy. Why y'all want to play?
He says, in Russ, I trust.
All right. No, respect, man. I do agree. No picks, clean game. That's something that is important, man. We don't want turnovers, man, regardless of if they're in running game or in the passing game. So we definitely got that. And the deep ball, the explosive plays, the ability to flip the field without having to snap the ball 10 plus times to do it. I like it. And I like the fact that with Russ and GP, they took advantage of corners not named Sauce, but then at the same time, they weren't afraid to attack Sauce. And I thought that was a good little rapport that I was seeing build with those two dudes, man. That's going to be his little DK Metcalf. I can already see it, bro. That's his DK.
He's feeding him.
I can see it, bro. He won. He should have low-key had a tutty on him. I don't like the no call either. I was torn between my defensive heart and my fandom.
Yeah, Sauce, we talk about JPJ being handsy in a physical corner.
Oh, man.
I'll tell you what.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Sauce was all over Pickens some of those times.
They
Caught him on the one. They got him on the one,
yeah.
the pass interference. That was like right there. That's a 30-yard throw that's not added on the stat sheet.
Yeah.
Pickens almost caught it though.
No, he did.
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. He probably should have had that.
I was low key. I was more so like.
I'll give him a pass though.
I agree. I felt like you could have caught that one. That's not as crazy. And I wasn't even tripping on that flag if they wouldn't have thrown it. I was upset about the end zone when I thought that he was holding GP, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, this is like you're restricting the heck out this dude right here. Like as a defensive guy, it's like, all right, man, you're savvy, you're doing it where the ref can't necessarily see it. But when they do show it on the camera and it's the other angle, you're like, bro, come on, man. But GP, man, still was able to persevere through it all. And that's partially why we talk about Sauce, though, as one of the top corners, because he does understand the tricks of the trade. He is ultra athletic and can still make plays without that type of stuff. But at the same time, it's like, man, you can still go at these dudes. Same with Pat Surtain. We saw how GP had success against him. You could still go against these guys or go at these guys.
Especially, too, being the NFL in the year 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Like the refs,
the referee be right.
The refs are going to be leaning more offense just because of how things are called, how things have been rolled these days.
Yeah. But, bro, did you see that first deep ball that rushed through the GP, the one hand joint? Like, my joint, the back shoulder joint was like right in the boobs. It was lovely.
And I don't want to hear people saying that Russ was underthrowing these balls and he was getting bailed out.
Oh, my God.
It's called giving your receiver a chance to make a play.
Put the ball up and let your receiver go make you right.
Dude, even I don't even care about the one that hit the guy on the back. What did he hit his helmet or his shoulder pads, whatever? I don't even care about that because it's like that dude wasn't in any position to pick it off.
Not at all.
So worst that happens, it's just incomplete.
Low key, I was still now I know it was pressure that affected the throw, but I was a little upset with GP on the one that was in the middle. Now, granted.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, go into that.
I think
DB.
he could have had that one too.
You could have caught it, but if you jump into this DB a little bit more aggressive, you're going to get the flag because the DB, once again, isn't looking. And that's kind of what you're saying about, yo, if you put it out there, man, in some of these instances, the DB isn't even aware of the ball, man. But make your quarterback right, though. And for the majority of the night, they did. But obviously, those are some of the instances where it's like, yo, we could still be doing a little bit more with this.
GP just has that type of body control where he can mess around with not being as physical and try to work his way around the defender. Because, I mean, it hit him in the hands.
Yeah, which is the crazy part.
Yeah, but he could have given himself a better chance. You're right, if he would have leaned more into it.
But then you look at the touchdown that he did catch, and then you see where he doesn't have to do any of that because he has the ability to do that one. The dudes that could do that one, they get paid a lot.
Red, oh shit. Shout out Najee for his post-game interview. I didn't see it.
I missed that one, yeah.
I listened to Ross's. I listened to Tomlin's.
I know why he said it. Brandon Marshall. He was surprised when Brandon Marshall had asked him a question. That's what he said, the OS word. Yeah, that's what he's talking about. I did catch that.
Brandon Marshall was there.
Yeah. So Brandon Marshall was at the press conference. He asked Coach T a couple of questions, but Najee didn't know that it was Brandon Marshall asking him the question, and then he looked up and was like, "Oh," and that's why he said that.
He asked good questions too.
It was funny because, from my perspective, we, even as a former athlete, we typically default to, man, that's B. Marsh. He's a football player. But to see him in that setting, he was treating it as if, yo, I'm still, I'm an official media person. And he was asking, legit questions. And I thought that was pretty cool, man. Because usually you don't get to see that transition in terms of athlete to media scrum. It's usually athlete to kind of what we're doing or on somebody's, analyst that's not with the beat writer, so to speak, man. But it was really cool to see B. Marshall in that setting and still, asking actually legit questions, no funny business.
Yeah, his question to Tomlin prompted, I think, the best soundbite of the night, dude. Where he said, that's what I'm compensated for. That's why I'm well compensated.
Heck yeah.
That was amazing.
Heck yeah.
It was a good mic drop moment.
Facts.
Done with the questions
it's
and
over.
Just left the stage, yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing else to say, man.
And it's true. I mean, that type of responsibility falls on the head coach. Picking who the quarterback is, picking who your coordinators are, who you hire, fire, all that stuff. That goes to Tomlin.
Think about how loud it got all last week. Everybody that watches the game, and even the people that don't watch the game, had an opinion about Coach Tomlin's decision right? How many people, man, would say it? I seen where they were saying, yo, this is an asinine decision. All type of other things. And then it's like, yo. And this is where we kind of like talked about it and was like, yo, in that building, from a football perspective, who is more qualified to make that decision? From a football perspective, who's more qualified to make decisions about this team?
Who's earned it the most?
Yeah. Who's more qualified? That's why I said qualified, because it's like, regardless of how we might feel about it, it's like, yo, show me the guy that has the credentials that reflect Coach Tomlin as a head guy, the decision-making ability that he's displayed over 20 years now. It's like, dude, that's why you got to trust him. And I love the response from him as well, man. That's why I get paid what I get paid, man, because it's a lot of pressure that comes with that. And I also, like, I was back and forth on, was he doing this to shield others, or was he doing it to isolate and make sure that, we go get this, y'all go say the right day when this is all said and done? Prior to the game, when obviously the reports came out about
Jay
him
Glazer,
having to,
Jay Glazer's his boy, so you know that came directly from Tomlin.
He had to stand against the organization to make the move.
He was the Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger, and I'm like, okay, so you're either doing this to protect the squad if this goes bad, you're going to protect everybody in the organization and you're falling on the knife, or when this goes right, nobody can say, oh, this isn't it was an organizational decision. Nah, he was the Lone Ranger, and I'm glad the report came out prior to the game. Now, obviously,
I think both can be true.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
I don't think Tomlin runs from that stuff.
No, not at all. He's never have.
He'll take the blame, and I guess he'll take the praise.
Nah. That's the part that I just love, though, man. It's like, he's going to make you be accountable to it, man.
He said that when he fired Matt Canada, too. Yeah. He's like, this was my decision, my decision. He didn't put it on anyone else, didn't put it on Rooney, didn't put it on assistant coaches, players, any of that. He said, it's my decision.
Yeah.
So, I mean, probably there was say or like some influence from other people and all that stuff. But
yes, there was.
There naturally is.
Yes. But when you're talking about like as a whole, say what you want to say publicly, because we know who's going to get the most criticism out of this thing one way or the other. So it's like, yo, if you're the man, be the man. Even when it's convenient and when it's not convenient. Like, still stand up there and be that. And that's Coach T.
Donovan LaRue, this is what I expect from this team. Defense played well. Gave up the big play occasionally, and tackling was spotty, but gave offense the short field and turnovers. Offense was exceptional. Been calling for Russ.
Okay. I like it. Yeah, that's defense in NFL, man, in 2024. You're not finding a ton of teams out here that are just stymieing offenses for 4 quarters and they can't move the ball, and that happening every single week. That's not the case here, man. At this level, everybody's good. I mean, shoot, even your boy Mason Rudolph, who got his start in Tennessee, don't you do that. Don't you do that. Don't you do that now, because you said that's a starting caliber dude, man. When he show up, it can get real, and you took the bet. So don't you shake your head like that. I was watching that one intently, all right? But
his Titans team doesn't help him out.
That's what it was.
Terrible. They got up 10-0. Just moving
the
ball.
Man, started fast, bro.
Offense.
Started fast, bro. Started real fast, man. Yeah. But you even said it yourself,
Titans
though, right?
Sabotage.
But no, in all seriousness, though, you said it yourself, right? They did start out 10-0, right? And that's versus what league standards would say is a backup quarterback with a questionable situation around him. But even with that, they're still going to be able to move the ball. Deshaun Watt, even before he got hurt, and we know what that situation is, but shoot, think about how we would talk about incompetent they look at times. And even they don't lose games 30-0. We talk about how, man, they still be weirdo covering games and stuff like that. So with that, man, when you're facing an actual team that does have guys that are really good in terms of Rodgers, in terms of Devontae Adams, in terms of Garrett Wilson, they're Breece Hall. They're going to make plays. And it's on us to just make sure that we, instead of, if they play a quote-unquote bad NFL team, that guy might make 10 of those plays. Man, your goal is, he might only make 5 versus us then. Or if you can minimize it to 3, great. But dudes are capable. I mean, Breece Hall, the one play where he, the long pass play he had, literally, man, TJ Watt, Landon Robinson, Patrick Queen are all there. He just nice move stepping around a guy, and now before you know it, domino, and now he's gone. But that's what dudes are capable of. But then I could show you some other clips where them same LBs are running him down. I'm looking at Peyton Wilson running him down. I'm looking at TJ. I'm looking at Beanie Bishop. Shout out to Beanie. Getting the TFLs and stuff like that on him. So it's like, you just have to understand that, man, yeah, you can ride that wave a little bit. But for us, it had, specifically on the defense side of the ball, the waves haven't been too crazy.
Yeah. Through the course of the season, even in some of these games individually. Like even
even
the Colts game, our worst defensive performance. Well, I guess you could argue
I
between.
would say Dallas.
I was going to say
back and
Colts or
forth.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Even in both of those games, we'll just say both of them. There were still bright spots.
Yeah. We talked about the turnovers.
Like we had the turnovers in the Dallas
yeah.
game, and then when push came to shove against the Colts, when Fields was leading us back in the fourth
Made the
quarter,
stops we needed,
we had that final stop that gave the offense the ball back and,
Yeah.
and the chance to go tie the game or win the game.
Very true.
But then if you look over the course of 6 weeks, yeah, there's been way more. If you want to talk about waves, there's been way more positives than negatives.
Yeah.
But I have this, waves is a great way to put it because, there's bigger positive waves than negative waves. But I still get frustrated with, like, the tackling and just looking incompetent for a few series.
No, that's facts, man. And honestly, there is a lot of, like, reasoning that goes into some of that stuff, man. When we're talking about early in games, offenses either looking really good or struggling. Sometimes offense comes out clicking because, number one, they're in rhythm. Everybody is, we got this, man. When that foot hits the ground, ball out, protection, everybody was on the same page. There's also times where defensively, you're trying to see, what is this team trying to do to attack us this week? We know we have a real high-end quarterback. How do we want to play this? Let's not show too much on the opening drive to get a 3-and-out, but now, or to get, the ball to stop them, in 2 after a first down. But now we've shown them what our third down package is going to be for the day. Now they've acquired that information, and over the next 2.5 to 3 quarters, they can really kill us with this. So it's certain strategy things with that. But then from our side, I thought yesterday's more so slow start was really lack of execution in terms of the details, right? We talked about the drop by Calvin because the first drive, we're moving the ball up the field. We just kind of got stalled out in the high red. You kick the field goal, but literally it's like, this is the first drive of Russell Wilson's regular season career as a Pittsburgh Steeler. I had a ton of grace in terms of my perspective. You even heard when we were talking on the show the other day, I was like, I could understand if he had 1 to 2 games of it not looking the best because of how much time he missed.
Yeah, I think you would have had to give him to the bye for sure. 2 games.
Right. Well, we said that in here, but in the stadium, bro. After that, I'm telling you, first series, man.
I get it.
First
who knows if I was in the
series.
stadium what I would have been saying.
Yeah, because I'm literally like, bro, the first series. It was so they didn't even want to cheer 100% for him when they called him out for the intros, bro. I'm sitting in the stand, I'm like, are y'all for real? Like, what?
It looked on TV like it was full support from the TV standpoint.
The TV did a great job then, bro.
I thought, maybe it was the third or fourth 3-and-out. There was actually I don't know how many 3-and-outs we had, but it was like the one after that last one. I was hearing some of the boos.
It was 2 to 3 3-and-outs. It was because we had the field goal on the opening drive. And then the 3-and-out was due to the drop. It was a clear, like Calvin was saying himself.
Yeah.
So that was part where I'm like, are we putting that on Russ for that as well? Then we have the 2 back-to-back 3-and-outs for certain. And I'm like, all right, cool. But then explosive play. And then we started to get this thing rolling. And then obviously we know when the second half hit how it really started to pick up even more. But yeah, it was just like, man, there isn't a lot of patience always surrounding those type of things, or at least in these settings we can display more patience, but when we get out there it's like, we in the moment, I gotta have it right now.
Did you listen to the broadcast at all?
No, I did not, because like you said, being down there, like I just wanted to hear the crowd. I wanted to feel that energy.
Sure.
Then going back and rewatching it was more so just to see the different perspective on certain things, because you know how it is at the games, man. Like wherever you're sitting at, you're gonna see certain positives to them angles, but then it's certain negatives because you don't get all the different replays, zoom ins and stuff like that. Like, shoot, when the dude got hurt in the stadium, you didn't even know he was hurt when he went down. It was just kind of like this weird, is this a TV timeout? Like, what's happening right now? Because of where he was like off to the side. But then you look at the TV broadcast and you're like, oh, I see now. This is what was going on.
Well, maybe you'd appreciate this perspective from me watching it at home from the TV.
Talk to me.
It's a couple things. One, Collinsworth and Tirico must have. I don't know what they did, but like in the pre-production like meetings with Tomlin, like they got some amazing responses out of him because the way that they were relaying the information that Tomlin was telling him about the quarterback decision, there was just so much clarity and it made so much sense as opposed to what you get from Tomlin and the local media. Because Tomlin was like, "Listen, I'm making this decision because I want to find out what quarterback gives us the best chance to win a Super Bowl. Like that's it.
I'm not trying to win games. I'm trying to win
I'm thinking long term with this." And he also said too, like there's like an open-endedness to this that Justin Fields could get the job back if Russell Wilson's not going to be good.
Which is very true.
He's like, I'm just literally trying to find the guy that gives us the best chance. And he said if we go with Fields, we're not going back to Russ.
Right.
And they asked him like, how much time are you going to give Russ? He was like, I don't really know. I think it's like when you know, you know. But like those answers are so much better than what we get local media.
Yes.
Because it just makes so much more sense. Like, okay, you have this broader vision with it.
I think
we're trying to win Super Bowls, and we got a Russell Wilson chilling here. Let's give him a chance. And I know a lot of people were thinking that like that is a reason to put Russ in, but we didn't hear it from Tomlin. We didn't hear this like explicit reason why he was doing it. Not saying we need to, but
I also think a couple of things though with that, man. Like first, I think if he did say that on a Tuesday press conference or post game, we know local media is gonna be some people that are gonna run with.
I'm not saying he should be doing that. I really appreciated the information that they were relaying. I'm like, I can get behind this. Like, even though I want to go, it feels like this just makes more sense than just the way like Tomlin's going about it in the long term vision, where like he's not just going with Russ just because he's a veteran and all that, and we're just gonna see what happens. It's like no, I'm thinking Super Bowls, and I'm not gonna be afraid to make the decision to even go back to Fields. Like this is, I want to see who's best for this offense. I want an answer as soon as possible.
And I think the other thing that, in terms of why Coach Tomlin was so candid with the Collinsworth and the Tirico, the level of respect, but also knowing that there isn't a biasness with it.
Sure.
Because they're just calling the game. And as a dude that's done like the color commentary part, you communicate with the coaches. Man, I'm trying to paint a story. I'm trying to, make you guys look the best that y'all can look. So like you can talk and be candid about it. We're not about to try to spin this on you. Whereas we know with beat reporters or even just your local media at times, man, how they operate. I mean, we joke about it at times with how we try to be positive over here, but it's like, man, you could have the same interview and this guy is going to try to take that question and run a whole nother way with it. And it's just like, nah, I don't have to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that. And I think that's why he kind of talks to the media locally the way that he does. But shout out to the other guys, though, in terms of the Collinsworths, the Tricos, even the Jay Glazers of the world, because at least that is somewhere where he feels comfortable enough to give us this like true how his inner workings are, or how his ingredients to the hot dog is.
Yeah. The other thing was the pregame.
How'd you feel? Pregame was fire, bro. I don't know how it showed up on TV. Bro, it was fire in there. Blacked out, fireworks everywhere. It was insane.
I thought the energy was different, man. It was. Ooh. You saw Russ in the block numbers in the Steeler uniform. He did a little pregame interview with someone from NBC, and his answers and how he looked.
It felt right. What did it feel like?
It's just not something you could fake. Like it
felt right.
Yeah, it was like you have this type of confidence, you have this type of demeanor from being in the league for 13 years, being a 9-time Pro Bowl, or Super Bowl. Like it's
1,000%.
One of the big things, or one of the big knocks on Russ is he's a phony and this and that. But it was just like how he was answering these questions and how confident he was and how like locked in and focused he was for this game. I was like, oh man, like this is just different. It just hits different having Russell Wilson being your starting quarterback than a Justin Fields. No. Again, it's not a knock on Justin Fields, but after I was and I think I can't remember if Collinsworth and Tirico said some of that stuff in the pregame or if it was like early in the game, but there was some other stuff that they were doing with Russell Wilson. I'm like, man, like let's go, man. Like this
Russ. That's the Russ effect.
Yeah,
man.
this is how it's supposed to be when you got a guy. This is how it's supposed to feel.
That's the
like
Russ
going
effect.
into a game, like you got that confidence, like you got like no matter what you're gonna have a chance. Now you got to back it up, and Russ backed it up. That's the other thing. It was just I was getting that feeling before the game of like, oh, we got a guy. Like,
no, that's real.
Them showing the clips of Russ like warming up and stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's all right. That's Russ. Yeah. That's right. I mean, it looks like Russ and everything, but what's he gonna do on the field? And yeah, he backed it up.
Yeah, because like when I look at it, man, I think of this is a guy that has been in some of the biggest games. When we talk about the National Football League, we talk about playoffs, we talk about Super Bowls, the biggest stages. He's been in them and been in them multiple times and has showed up multiple times. So there is a certain thing that comes with that experience where when he talks about staying neutral the whole time, that is real, but you don't get that without going through those situations hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, man. You think about how many reps this guy's taking, practice reps he's taking in terms of postseason preparation. So now when you're talking about can you come in here in a quote-unquote big game, Sunday Night Football versus Aaron Rodgers, who just got his guy Devontae Adams, it's like, for Rice, it's like, bro, I prepared to play in a Super Bowl against Peyton Manning. Like, yeah.
Tom Brady
too. Yeah.
Him and Rodgers already had these matchups before in the NFC for a decade.
That dude he doesn't blink, whereas at times with Justin, that is still what he is trying to acquire. That experience, those reps of being in constant big scenarios to where it doesn't even matter. His post doesn't even move. It's just, all right, next play. That's the thing that we joke about sometimes as athletes, and we say why we're a little bit more, or we tend to be a lot more common these high pressure situations versus fans, because it's like, yo, we've done it so many times that, yo, we know you could come back because we've seen people come back. We've been a part of these comebacks. Whereas if you haven't, it's like, yo, it's not gonna feel as comforting. You're not gonna feel as like confident, and we've seen that with Mitch, Kenny, Duck, right? Where, man, these dudes kind of got a little rattled. Especially early on when it didn't go their way. It got rocky. It got loud in that stadium. We've seen multiple quarterbacks get booed up out of that thing, have to get pulled because they can't overcome it, man. And the slow start, it's like, yo, that's when you look at the vet and you say, because you said it, right? You say, yo, it felt like at one point, yo, man, the thought of Phil starts to creep up. I'm sure for Russ, he knows that, man, I can hear these people. I'm sure he also knows that, yeah, they're going to be looking, and obviously we haven't had the most success right now, but what do we see from us? Man, shoot. Even kill, go ahead, make the next play, and then after that, boom, another one. And that's the part where you say, man, shout out to Russ, man. Shout out to your experience, and shout out to this being what you know you were capable of, and that's why you have that confidence to be able to be on the sideline and be actually genuinely happy when another guy makes a play because you know what you're capable of.
Russ has made me feel a little bit stupid right now, to be honest.
Oh, no. Oh, don't do that. Why?
It's just because the type of stuff that Russ brings to the table is the type of stuff that I really value in my quarterback play for my team. And you've known this since we've started doing the podcast.
Facts.
So just even the because obviously I said I would rather stick with Fields for this game coming up. Just even the thought though of, man, yeah, let's entertain Fields for another week, because I wasn't full on Russ is washed or anything. He's brings no value to this team like Justin Fields. He's the here and now for sure, guarantee, all that stuff. Because what did I say? If we go with Russ, I get it. Trust me, there's a lot of reasons to go with Russ. If I knew I was getting that, if I knew I was getting this, like it just wouldn't, like it wouldn't have even crossed my mind.
Said, if I knew then,
it wouldn't have even crossed my
now?
mind to stick with Fields. I just didn't know. Hey,
there's nothing wrong with that, man.
I just didn't know. I didn't know if Russ still had it like that.
There ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
I didn't know if the abilities to appreciate it, because we saw him in preseason a little bit too. Not preseason, but the mobility didn't seem like it was there. It didn't seem like he was holding up good against this offensive line.
They said he was hurt in that game, though.
What?
They said that his calf wasn't 100%
The
when
Bills
he went
game?
out there. Yeah, they did say that.
Really?
Yeah.
When they say that? After the
They
fact?
said it afterwards, yeah.
Either way, I was just wondering. Just wondering if the abilities were still there like that, given the whole Broncos situation. Him being hurt this year, being out for 6 weeks, he's getting up there in age. And then the fact we got to see Fields go 4-2, raise his floor, improve a lot from what he was doing in Chicago. I knew I was getting this right, it just wouldn't have even been a conversation with putting Russ in. It would almost have been like if Ben was on the team. Or if like an Aaron Rodgers was on the team. We're just putting them in. Like, it's not even a question. Feels stupid. Well, that's a good thing, though.
It's a good problem to have there, man.
It's a good
problem
thing
to have, man. It's a good problem.
Because it doesn't get worse from here on out.
Absolutely not.
This was supposed to be Russ's worst game.
That's what I'm saying.
This is supposed to be the game where he's least familiar with the offense and most rusty. Goes for 260 and 3 touchdowns. Now, I'm not saying every game's going to be like that.
But I'm with you. Yeah.
But every game, he should be getting more and more comfortable and more back in the swing of things in a system that should fit him better than what was going on in Denver.
How did you feel? Because obviously we know some of the talk surrounding why they didn't want to put, or why we wouldn't want to put Russ in, was the O-line isn't going to be able to block well enough. He's going to be under duress. He's old. He can't move like Justin.
He moved good. He moved good. Not as fast as Justin, obviously. I think there's some plays that Fields does get with his legs that Russ wasn't able to yesterday. But I think we got a huge uptick in the passing game. I mean, we were doing a lot more shotgun stuff, and Russ was making his checks and doing all that stuff at the line. So, I mean, I guess that's the trade-off. Yeah. And it didn't feel like, from a running game standpoint overall, we got any worse. I think it stayed the same. Now, maybe in the first 2.5, 3 quarters, I was thinking to myself, I think our run game will be better with Fields, but then you see how we finished the game.
Right.
I think a $140, $150.
Najee looked real good, man.
I'll take that from a running game standpoint, game in and game out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
And if Russ can continue to give us that in the passing game, we got a team, man. We're and this is what I was saying at the beginning. We're exactly where we need to be. We're 5-2. I feel like we got a guy at quarterback. Like, we got our answer. Like, that's all I need to see. That's literally all I need to see because Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson. Like, that stuff, the intangibles, the moxie, the heart of a champion, like, that doesn't go away.
I would agree.
The abilities can depreciate over time with the greats. And that's when you see a Peyton Manning and a Drew Brees barely being able to throw the ball. Like, that's when the talent and the skills don't match up to still what you have inside. Right. But I think Russ still got it both ways right now.
Yeah.
So, that's all I need to see. It's not going to take me much convincing that Russ still got it. That's all I need to see.
Now, respect. And I'm sure the receivers, man, tight ends, like, you look at how many guys caught multiple passes in, the yardage that these guys were going for as well. It looks like they kind of appreciated it as well.
We got it to the right guys. We got it to the guys that we've been complaining about that we need to get the ball more.
Darnell Washington, Pat Freiermuth, GP, Calvin Austin, Van Jefferson, right?
Yeah, I mean, we don't need to get him the ball, but he caught the touchdown.
I'm saying, like, it was off of a check too.
Those first 4 names you mentioned, we've been saying we got to get these guys the ball more.
I would agree with you.
We haven't brought up Van Jefferson in that vein.
The reason why I brought up Van was more so because I look at Van and I say, how many guys have talked bad about our receiving group? I know I've talked, more so about wanting more out of them and thinking that they could be more productive. But at the same time, you also have to produce when those opportunities come to you. And I thought, man, for Calvin, I know I've talked about, do we need to bring in another guy? Because the production hasn't always been there. Now, is it because he wasn't getting looks, or is he just not good enough to be a number 2? Still, big play, right? When I think of Darnell, I mean, we're joking about the whole blocking tight end thing because he doesn't get targets. But you see, all right, I can feed you a little bit more.
Offs.
Yeah.
He did that at Georgia
throws
a lot.
That we wouldn't even think of because the mindset is either deep pass or a run. It was like, that adds up. And making those DBs have to tackle him, man.
Russ could have hit that deep pass on the second play, huh? Instead of the dump off to Washington. Am I wrong?
I'm just saying, like.
Am I wrong?
He
just needed to take the layup.
It was a second play, man. Second play. If you just.
I saw that dude wide open. I'm like, man.
That's the second play of the game. It's the second play, man. Just hey, get you get a feel good one in, man. Sometimes you need a feel good one, man. I need to see it go in. All right, we're good now. Yeah,
we got a squad. I'm really confident where we're at.
Can we shout out special teams real quick, too? More importantly, Danny Smith. Shout out to Danny freaking Smith, man. I wish I had bubblegum right now, bro. Danny's the homie, man.
And for him going after the ref.
Yeah, because the ref messed up.
That's terrible.
Listen, when Danny Smith is that pissed off with the ref, it is because he has talked to the referee 3 hours before kickoff. He's talked to the referee the series or 2 before this is about to happen. He's talked to the referee right when it's about to happen to let him know, hey, man, we see this. He's going to do this, and when this happens, my guy's going because it's going to be legal. And if for it to actually happen in the game and you throw the flag, yeah, that's why he blacks out every time something like that happens. It's not often. The other time we remember was Green Bay. Me and you at that game. That was, I want to say, Minka blocked it. Joe Hayden recovered it.
Yeah.
And think about how livid he was because when you went back and looked at the actual clip, he wasn't offsides. Because Danny Smith, and this is the one thing that I would always say from, him coaching me for 4 years here, he is so meticulous that when he finds a little tail, he knows for certain, like, yo, this is how you jump this right here. So when this guy flicks or when this guy twitches or this one thing moves, it's subtle, but that's when you know to do it. And he was going to wait. But when he calls it, it's for a big time. And obviously that would have been a big moment, man. But football justice came through. Dean Lowry, shout out to him coming back and rectifying the situation with a block later on. And his block was pretty significant too. Yeah. But I like it though, man.
Does that kick a shank or no?
The Jets don't have the best kicking situation. All right, we know this.
I wanted to get an honest perspective on that because that's what I thought initially. I'm like, how are you even kicking it into that?
It was a block. I don't know how it. I don't know because I'm with you. I was all just like, but we'll take it. We will take it.
I was like, that's pretty low and to the left there, my man.
Definitely low and left. But we will take it. We might would have caught it in the stands. Yeah. But shout out to him though, man. Hey, you kick your heart out, man. You kick your little heart out. Nobody knows that, you would have probably missed it. We'll just say it was blocked. Dean Lowry appreciates it. Yeah. I think that's like his second block of his career too. Yeah. Shout out. We be blocking some kicks right here. Miles Killebrew almost had one too.
Donovan LaRue. This is what I expect from this team. Oh, wait, I just read that. That boy 23. Shout out to Beanie, but can he get a smaller helmet? His size with the helmet, he's a funny look to him. LOL. Also, fire Tomlin, idiots.
Hey, man, shout out to that boy 23. And if y'all digging how we doing the show today, y'all hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Yeah, Beanie's helmet. I see what you're saying. And he only had the Guardian cap. He just, I think it's just his frame. But shout out to Beanie though, man. Obviously a dude that I think it was 2-3 weeks ago, people were saying, he no longer needs to be out there in that lineup, and we can't wait for Cam Sutton to get back.
Well, he was getting cooked.
No, fair enough. But this is the beautiful part about football. We always say, man, all you need is another opportunity. Next play, you could take that fan that wants to spit, talk crazy about you, and now they over there eating out the palm of your hand talking about you great. That was Beanie Bishop last night, man. Multiple interceptions against Aaron Rodgers. I mean, we know who Aaron Rodgers is. First ballot future Hall of Famer right there, man. The first pick was crazy.
Yeah, that was
the first.
That was probably worth
crazy.
The two because obviously he was gifted the second one, but that first one was worth the two.
Hey, you catch anything that's in the air, all right? It bounces up.
Well, I mean,
catch it.
He almost tipped it. Like he got his hand in the way, so maybe that distracted Wilson a little bit.
But you got to catch it, man. But dude, that first pick, I was like, okay, Beanie, the pre-snap disguise, post. Now you showing the athleticism, and then go get the money. It was clean, bro. I was,
almost did.
Yeah. When I say he caught the pick.
Am I wrong? Was he doing? What was he doing? Like a little hezzy?
Yes, he saw that. He did it on both picks too, bro. That's like his. I don't know if
what
that's
are they
like
teaching
his.
Down in West Virginia?
Yeah, I'm like, bro, you not there yet. It's like some bodies over here. You hot stepping, man. Yo, the Devontae Adams though. I was like, yo, he ran up on that thing quick. Like, yo, hold the ball. Just protect the ball. Yeah. But he looked good though, man. I thought with Beanie, man, not only in coverage, like I said, man, getting those interceptions, but also playing against the run, man. I know we had the TFL on the screenplay, but he was just a physical guy, man, down by the line of scrimmage. And he's looking good, man. This is what you want to see, but this is what you get with young players. It's going to be some highs, it's going to be some lows with them. You're going to have some games where you're like, all right, shout out to the rookie right here, like we talked about last night with Beanie. You're going to get some other games where we over here like, hey, bro, that's a mental error. Hey, bro, you got to be better in coverage. Come on, man. We got to do this a little bit sharper. That's just rookies. But I think that from his perspective, man, he's doing a heck of a job, man, because these are some big-time moments, and he's having some big matchups. This dude last night was matched up versus Garrett Wilson at times. He had Devontae at times. He had Mike Williams at times. Like, he kind of has to be versatile. And this is an undrafted guy, but he keeps showing up, man, and standing up to the test, man. And I like it, man. It's looking real good.
Yep, great
Shout out
pickup.
to Beanie, man.
Donovan LaRue. If we get this from the offense and the defense keeps playing elite, we're contenders. You don't get this production from GP with Fields. Maybe we don't need a 2.
Is he saying trade Fields? Is that what that is? How did you take maybe we don't need a 2? What does that mean?
A wide receiver, too.
Oh, okay. I was like, what do you? Oh, okay. I was like a number 2 or a 2. All right. I mean,
yeah. Yesterday was a team that's we're in the mix for the Super Bowl. Like, and
right,
that's not hyperbole.
Yeah.
That's none of that. This team's legit.
If they're playing like that every single week, 1,000%. That's the question though. Can you do that every week? Is GP going to be able to be consistent mentally and physically every week? Is Russ going to be able to be sharp and, all the little things kind of go in his favor? O-line wise, are y'all guys going to be able to continue to stay healthy and build with the group that you guys are having? And can y'all continue to improve? We know that they blocked well enough, but they still weren't perfect per se.
Well, hopefully we get Frazier back soon.
Yeah. Well, hopefully after the bye, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That doesn't excuse what Broderick was doing out there, though.
Broderick still he was fighting. Ever since we talked to Darnell, bro, this has kind of been stuck in my head, man. And I don't want to validate it, but I felt like it was giving me validation for something, bro. So you know how we always talk Broderick, and I'm like, bro, he is so athletic, so strong, like he's just gifted. But at the same time, fundamentally,
I mean, this is what he looked like at Georgia, though.
Right. And remember, and it was like, yo, that was the one like thing that it kind of is like, yo, it irks me with him. Darnell Washington, we were talking to him. He said, bro, at times at Georgia, I didn't always have to use technique because we were just so much bigger and stronger than teams. We could just come out there and do whatever, and it was going to work. And I just feel like for Broderick, he still has like that in his game at this level, and it shows up a lot. And I'm just like, dude, can you stop doing that? Just be like locked in every single play. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Because like we're still winning, and we're doing well enough. But that's the one. I'm just like, yo, if you could just button it up every single play, bro, you could actually be dope. But he is young.
And this don't need a wide receiver 2 question. Yeah, I mean, we don't need it if Russ is playing like that and the offense is playing like that. But you know what? I wouldn't mind it.
It doesn't hurt the offense to add a guy if you're talking about Russ playing like that, because now
I feel like we got to be serious
weapon.
now. Like if from what I saw yesterday, it's like, yeah, we should be thinking Super Bowl and stuff. So why not fix some of these weaknesses? Yeah.
I know a guy.
Why not try to get this all buttoned up?
Deke, I know for certain the guy who's available.
Who?
DeAndre Hopkins. No,
I don't want Cooper Kupp at this point.
No, DeAndre Hopkins for certain. I watched that yesterday. The stat line is going to tell you he sucks. Watching it, bro, he played maybe
fine.
2 quarters.
You think he's fine?
He wasn't.
Well, I know weren't they sitting on the bench?
Bro, he wasn't sitting. He just stood next to the head coach because clearly they weren't even throwing him the ball, weren't trying to get him the ball, weren't doing nothing. So he just stood over there, had the helmet on for a quarter, and then after that, took the helmet off and was just like, all right, just kind of walking. Bro, but he's healthy. He looks good. Like,
all right.
Yeah. Bad matchup yesterday. You know how that goes. But
Mason didn't want to get him the ball.
He was throwing to Calvin and working with Pollard, but yeah, it was. D-Hop literally was not even thought of.
They have to trade him.
That's why when
they
I saw that,
this is the end of his contract.
Yeah,
you might as well. Your team sucks.
Yeah, dude,
get some draft picks.
Watching that, I'm just like, he is available. That's a guy that is for certain available, man.
I wouldn't mind Cooper Kupp, though.
Calvin Ridley is definitely not going to be available, though, bro. I don't think that because they still look like they want him. They were trying to get him more.
Oh, and he signed the long-term deal.
Yeah.
He's less likely to be available than D-Hop.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that Cooper Kupp, though.
I like Coopers. Yeah. Amari Cooper, Cooper Kupp, any Cooper I could work with it, man. Cooper Kupp work. You ain't feeling Coop?
I don't care about Amari Cooper anymore. I never did, but
Wow. I was just referencing.
it was the Titans.
I was just referencing. It was with Mason though.
I
You know
know.
how you feel about Mason.
I know I might have been wrong on that.
No, you're never wrong about Mason. No. Not that. That's Mason.
I mean,
Mason,
I thought he
bro.
played good. Didn't he have like almost 250 yards or
He
something?
played very valiantly. Yes.
I thought he played all right. I saw
Yeah.
some of the game.
Yeah, he was valiant, man.
Didn't finish right, but what?
He started
Wasn't
out.
there some fumbles or something
Started
going
out
on?
good, man. Well,
He had a snap problem himself.
he held the ball a little bit too much at times, and that's kind of what cost him.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was good though. He had moments though. Trust me, like Mason still had moments.
Yeah, I saw a little bit
Yeah.
of it. He looked all right. Titans just suck.
Titans defense is nice as heck though.
No.
Yes, they are. They definitely are. They just play too many snaps, bro. They defense is good though. Don't get into it. They got a good defense, man.
Yeah, I would still like to get a wide receiver too if we can.
Now, is Cooper Kupp like what happened this weekend? Because I've seen his name pop up a little bit more too, but I don't know what
Rams
happened
just
though.
Not
What
a
was
good
it?
record, you know. They
He
could be
didn't
doing
do
a little-
anything or say anything though, right?
No, it's just people are putting 2 and 2 together.
Okay,
People are trying to look out for fake trades and
fair.
trade possibilities.
Fair. The D Hop thing, just because I saw
That's
him be
legit.
healthy and not get any type of and him
Deontay
standing
Johnson's
next to the
probably
coach-
legit available too,
Yes,
but
we can't get him back yet.
why can't we just do a 3-team trade? Why
Well,
can't they trade
because they won't,
Deontay to a team and then we trade?
they won't let him. That's what they tried to do with Osweiler, and they called it off. They was like they I forgot they said like, we don't do sign and trades like NBA because essentially that's the NBA thing. Like I'll sign the dude, but I'm trading him to you, but you can't sign him because you got to get the however you got to do your contract or wherever you're trying to get worked out. That's the whole sign and trade thing. But yeah, they for certain was like we don't allow that. So I don't know, man. But if he could just get cut somewhere, just tell him go rogue. Go rogue, come in there, curse everybody out, get fired, and then we'll sign you in 24 hours. Yeah. It's got to be some more receivers though that are disgruntled right now.
I mean, I would say DK Metcalf, but after seeing the Pickens connection, I don't know if I want to ruffle feathers there.
But you know how fire that would be.
I get it.
You know how fire that because
we might not need that. We might not need that.
You know how fire both of them dudes would be though. DK is like he really a bully out there, man.
I kind of like Russ feeding Pickens like that.
I do too.
That could easily been 150 yards and a couple touchdowns.
Multiple touchdowns, yeah.
So Cooper Kupp, I think, is my pick.
All right.
That's my top pick right now.
It's got to be. I'm thinking of somebody else too. I like either of them though, man. Can't go wrong with either one.
Here's my thing with a guy like Christian Kirk. No, Jaguars actually looked halfway decent. I don't know if they're actually still considering contention.
No, that was their second game in London versus a team's first game in London. They always do better the second game versus the first game, bro. Because you got the advantage. You don't have to take the trip. You're already there.
Yeah, but all right, either with Christian Kirk, I mean, with them being 2-5,
Yeah.
he could be on the block.
And they got Brian Thomas down there.
Yeah,
So they got like their guy.
but yeah, I'm wondering how much they think they actually have a chance. Because if they do, they wouldn't trade Kirk. But either way, he might be available just because of their record. My thinking with him is we might have a Christian Kirk already on the roster with Roman Wilson.
We just haven't seen him. He was inactive
Like
again.
he's got the same like build prototype. He's a slot receiver, but also can get down the field fast, shifty.
I wonder how long is it gonna take for him to be ready, and then how long is it gonna take for that readiness to actually turn into production? 'Cause now we are.
He was inactive.
Yeah, another inactive, healthy scratch. 7
And we
games now.
we got that Brandon Johnson dude dressing
Yeah.
still and getting snaps.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Who is this guy?
So what's going on? But special teams value. So that's the Brandon Johnson element of it. So for Roman,
But he's still getting snaps on the offense.
I'm with
What
you
is
on that
going
as
on?
well. I'm with you on that. Because I look at how like Hay-Bay would get snaps. I look at what was the other dude that Miles Boykin, he would get snaps on offense. Like there still are teamers, but in certain instances they get out there. My man said, yo, I gotta get snaps. They bring up Mike Williams. He looked all right last night. He didn't have the critical
All
drop.
right, if we can't get anyone else, I guess.
I always get upset about that. That's like, y'all drop it versus everybody else, but then you come play us, you catching, and you looking good. Yeah,
He's not my first pick.
I would agree.
Let's go for Cooper Kupp.
I would agree.
All right, next one. Paul Bennett says, in quotes, "I was wrong," said by Deke.
You already kind of said that, though. Technically, didn't you? I mean,
listen,
like, I feel like you're, they trying to, kick it while you're
here's what I'll say. I was wrong for
Yeah.
what quarterback I would play for this week, but it's not for, like, I thought Russ sucked or like we weren't gonna win with Russ reasons.
Yeah.
It was just I wanted to keep seeing what Fields got. Like it's pretty much that simple. Like, do we win that game yesterday with Fields? Possibly, but actually probably. I mean, if it plays out that way. But I do think Russ brings a certain cachet. He ups the level of play just because of who he is. There's a Russ factor that you don't get with Fields. So, maybe we don't win. I don't know. Either way, I saw what I needed to see from Russ, and we're rolling with him.
I kind of agree.
I wasn't ripping on Russ. Like, I don't know. Like, I wanted Russ to start week 1. I said, if we want to win games, I'm betting on Russ over Fields. It's just that I think it's just more about I was that impressed with Fields and what he did as to why I wanted to keep sticking with him, as opposed to like being negative on Russ. Because if Fields had more slip-ups and was a little bit more erratic in those 6 weeks, maybe we have a worse record. Then, I don't think it's not even a question. Let's go with Russ. But Fields was playing good.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with what we, like when we see or we're currently seeing a player playing well, and it's like, yo, why would I want to take that out, or why do I want to potentially disrupt his success? There's nothing wrong with that.
Here's the thing. I don't feel like, oh man, Deke, you were like, I was so wrong, or like it was like the worst take ever. Like I was so off on all of it. Like I literally said, I think within the last week or two, if I had a big game, I would go with Russ. You know what I mean? I had that caveat. But I still wanted to see. I still wanted to see if Justin Fields could earn his chance to be the better guy in a big game. Yeah. But like right now, as we sit here right now, I'm thinking about if we got to go on the road against the Chiefs, we got to go on the road against the Bengals, playoff game, do or die game. I think you still lean Russ because of just everything he's done. But at the same time, Fields is he's 25, he's playing good, he could be the future. Showing a lot of good traits here. I think he's actually been one of the most consistent things on this offense. So why not see if that could develop even more and he can prove himself in those big moments where we can have that type of confidence in him. So I don't know. I thought I actually had a pretty nuanced take with all this quarterback stuff. I'm not gonna lie. And you know what? If anything, I feel bad for that. Maybe I should have been more one way or the other because I was kind of hedging my bet with all that.
Okay.
But I did say I'd go with Fields. So yes, I was absolutely wrong for this Week 7 game for sure. Well, absolutely, but it wasn't a knock on Russ. It wasn't like I don't. It's not like Russ sucks and we're gonna lose. This team's gonna go to the shitter. I said literally, if we throw Russ in there, we're probably gonna win games. Yeah. But I always thought I was like the higher ceiling might be with Fields. I think Russ still got a good upside at 35. After seeing last night.
Well, either way, I was gonna say I was wrong as well, man. I did say that Roman Wilson was a healthy scratch. He actually has a hamstring he's currently dealing with. Don't do him like that. Don't do him like that. It did pop up last week.
Devontae Adams.
Don't you do that. Don't you do that. Don't you do that. Don't you do that. He had a hamstring. Man. He had a hamstring. So just let him live. Let him live. But I wanted to go ahead and make sure I clarify that. I saw you on the chat. He was like, hey man, he's like healthy. So yes, he has a hamstring he was dealing with. There we have it.
They're saying I'm flip-flopping.
Hey.
Listen, I got new information, and I'm calling it like I see it. I don't care.
Listen, Deke, you could flip-flop because Devontae Adams went out there and played how many snaps last night? I thought the hamstring was hammed up. The hammy looked great.
I'm just calling it like I see it.
The hammy looked great, so yeah, if he can play with the hammy, you say what you want to say. You got the mic.
Yeah. I don't care. I mean,
new information.
It is.
New information, man.
It absolutely is. But it does make me feel a little bit stupid because, if I was getting this Russ, it just wouldn't have even been a conversation. I just would have said, yeah, we're going with Russ. Like Fields. Even if we were 6-0, I'd probably still say we're going with Russ. Because that's, if we're getting this version of Russ, it's not even a question. All right, next.
Let's get him, man. Come on. Y'all hit that like button if y'all digging how we doing it today. And subscribe if you are new to the channel as well.
Nick Ferrier has joined the upper room.
Shout out to Nick Ferrier and welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
AJ Martinez says, blessings to all. One question. Why in the hell would a coach have a quarterback that beat KC run not one, not two, but 3 QB sneaks, especially with a calf that was injured for 9 weeks? Can you say sabotage Steelers?
Hey, I thought y'all like running quarterbacks, man. He was just running a little bit. He was trying to show you he still got it.
No, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do the get Fields in there for a sneak or get Fields in there for a red zone stuff.
Yeah. Because I think
you got one quarterback.
The
That's
the Browns were doing that prior to Watson getting injured. They were having Jameis do QB sneaks. I don't know how successful it was, but he was the QB sneak guy. And I think it was another team too that had that kind of like, oh, just for short yardage, this is the guy to go out there. But yeah, roll what you got, man. If you got your guy, that's your guy. Shoot, sometimes it worked better with a guy like Russ because he kind of get low and blend in there, man. Can't even see him.
Tito Good Vibes. Shout out to Coach T and both quarterbacks.
Facts. I like that. Shout out to Tito as well, man.
Let's go. UW says, or no, we got T Star F as well. He says QB1 was always QB1. Man.
It's the reason why Coach T ain't touched that depth chart is what you saying.
That's fine.
Coach T ain't touched that depth chart. Hey.
Here's my thing. And this was almost like the Mason Rudolph stuff from last year. Were people talking like this about Russ last week or 2 weeks? Like, it was this. Oh, he's the guy, the franchise guy, guaranteed.
Now, there were supporters of Russ.
Oh, and I don't know. We talked about it. Like, I don't blame people for wanting to go with Russ for a game.
Russ, man. It was people supportive of Russ, and they got kind of looked at crazy.
To the extent
that it kind of crazy.
To the extent of this comment.
Not to that extent. Not to that extent.
Because I get let's see what Russ got. I get that, and I said that how many times?
Right, because that was my stance. I'm like, I wasn't over here like, yo, he's about to be great, but I'm like, bro, what he has done, I want to see.
That's like, the reasons for putting him in.
I have to see this, man. Yeah.
Let us know if it's there or not. Mm-hmm. That's fine. I get that, but this guarantee that Russ was going to be prime Russ or, Steelers Ben or something like that.
I think both these could be true, though, because the prime Russ convo, I think, is a little bit of the overcorrection to the people that were acting as if Russ was just going to be god-awful all of a sudden because we were seeing Fields for 6 games and Fields look good. It was like,
that's fine.
Oh, Russ is going to suck. Russ can't even. It's like, why does Russ have to suck all of a sudden?
I didn't think he was.
Right. No, and you specifically know, but that was the growing narrative surrounding Russ as long as Fields was out there playing well. Why are we about to mess this up by putting this guy in? He's old. You saw Denver. And it's like we keep referencing Denver like Denver was just some god-awful performance by Russ, and it wasn't. It's just Russ's ceiling of what we've shown or what he's shown he's capable of compared to that version. Yeah, that wasn't best, but that still is nicer than a lot of other quarterbacks right now. And that's the part where it was just kind of surprising that people would talk crazy about Russ. Like, he ain't got it. But everything worked out. So shout out.
Absolutely.
Shout out. But shout out to Coach T, man. He ain't touched that depth chart. He left it alone. He ain't messed with it. He said, nope, I ain't touching it.
Yeah, it was a big decision by Tomlin.
Yeah.
Worked out.
Yeah.
Let's go, UW. That Mahomes run is why QB should be allowed to get destroyed on the sideline. If they don't get out of bounds, you see everyone slow up and get timid near the edge there.
I absolutely hate that.
I agree with him.
That
was ridiculous.
I used to get upset because Russ used to do some of that, but it wasn't as egregious as that. It would be, I'm running, now I'm going to cut it up. This dude is really playing that game with people on the sideline. Like, he knows how the referees are calling it for him. Yeah, dude. I saw that multiple times. I'm not a fan of it, man.
Nah, that's terrible.
Not a fan of it.
And that Bengals dude's the one that got flagged in the AFC Championship game for making sure Mahomes was out of bounds.
Yeah, so it's like you're screwed, man. You're screwed either way. Nope.
Richard Arbizo says Dodgers in 5, of course. The Bills guy going for New York.
Hey, man, if you're from New York, you root for real New York teams like the Bills or the Yankees. I saw a lot of Jets jerseys and Mets hats. It was like, yo, no wonder y'all suck, all right? Because, yeah, you don't mix them two things together, all right? Jersey is Jersey, New York is New York, all right? So, yes, shout out to the New York teams out there. The Yankees will be taking care of business versus the Dodgers. Don't worry about that at all. And I suppose, yeah, the only New York football team did take care of business yesterday as well, I suppose. That happened. I felt kind of bad for Mason. I was like, yo, you can't get some PTSD in this joint, man.
You were always a Yankees fan, though, right?
Yeah, I like the Yankees. Yeah, man. That's what I do.
It's always been your team.
That's what I like. But I rock Pirates, though, because we here. You know, I'm in it. I'm involved. But yes.
Pirates Yankees World Series.
Why you want to do that? Don't do. That's weird. Why you want to act all weird like that?
It can happen.
Don't
it might happen next
weird,
year.
But don't be low key. Hey, you never know. But don't make it weird. Just let it happen. That's like when you, hey, if you get Bills and Steelers, this shit you get right now, what you gonna do?
Right,
It's like, yo,
we know your answer.
Wow.
That's all I need to hear.
What? Who's at home? Where's the game at?
Well, for baseball, it goes
back and forth. Yeah, so just depend on what day it is. Then, all right. I typically default to the home team. Typically, unless Deke is with me, and it's the opener, then I will neutral it. Yes.
So. That wild card game last year, then.
Who's the
Steelers Bills?
Wow, you're asking a lot of questions. You were asking a lot of questions. I typically default. All right, just that's a lot of questions you're asking, though, man. Don't be asking all the questions, man. All right, shout out to the Yankees, though, man. You get East Coast versus West Coast right here, man. New York versus Cali. Come on, man. It's gonna be a vibe, bro. Yeah, let's focus on that. Man. Don't make it weird, man. Did you see Alex Highsmith? Did you see Highsmith out there yesterday? Shout out to Alex Highsmith.
Pressure.
If y'all were digging Alex, I know y'all want to trade him too, but if y'all was digging Alex Highsmith, man, can we hit that like button one time for the coach and subscribe? He looked good. Run game, pass game. He was getting tackled. I'm like, yo, why don't y'all throw the flags on either one of our edge rushers when they be getting just absolutely just assaulted out there? Can't just, it's happening right in front of you, Mr. Ruff. But shout out to Highsmith, man. It looked good to see him back out there. He looked healthy. Look healthy, man.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Let's give you the up. It's nice to have a QB with a beautiful moon ball again. Hopefully, Justin learns how Russ does it.
Respect.
I said this yesterday, too, about Fields watching the game from the sideline in that moment. I was like, and I even said this before the season, if Fields was going to be the backup all year. Like, I don't think this is necessarily a huge step back for his career. I think it could be a really good thing. Like, when has Fields actually had the opportunity to take a step back and learn from a dude like Russ and how he operates in a big moment like that? When has he had it? Because he was pretty much thrown into the fire in Chicago, and then whenever he gets here, he's playing the first 6 games.
Yeah.
And he got his chance on a Sunday Night Football game, and we all felt that wasn't his best of performances, but I still thought he played pretty good. Yeah. But then to see how Russ did it in this one, going up against an Aaron Rodgers, like there's a difference. So maybe Fields is able to learn through osmosis. And actually, not even just through osmosis, because I actually think Russ is going to be – he's a good teammate. He's a good dude to have around. He's actually going to be communicating with Justin Fields as opposed to maybe you go back to Green Bay whenever it was Favre and Rodgers. I think Rodgers still learned a ton, but it's not like Favre was the best teacher. But still just being there and learn from a legend and just being around him, I think it could go a long way.
Yeah, so, I would agree.
So Fields ends up not playing for the rest of the season. I still think it'd be a big benefit for him for like the rest of his career.
And you never know when it comes back to you. Russ could play great, and it's the Carson Wentz, Nick Foles situation. He gets, dinged up or something happens at the end, and now we got to come back to you. You got to be ready to answer that bill regardless of when and how that next opportunity arises. And that's the part that I'm hoping for Fields that he is keeping, in the front of his mind. Yeah, because if you've never been the backup, you've never had to have that mindset. But when you've lived that life before, you like, hey, it changes right now when you go from the backup that nobody cares about to now you're the starter and we're dependent on you to be the guy. So for Fields, man, just stay ready because you never know. Never know. Let me get this real quick. I'm not the type of guy that runs from it, okay? So the homie Jawoski Webb. Shout out to Jawoski, man. He's tapped in. He always tunes in with us. He's a Georgia Southern fan.
No.
He's been heavily on it. So he's like, yo, ask most about the game. So I just wanted to say, yo, shout out to Georgia Southern. They won. All right. I hope he feels good about it. I'm happy for Georgia Southern getting their victory, man. It was just what we needed, man. So I appreciate that taking place, man. Yup, I appreciate it. Yup.
You can't say just what we needed.
Yep, that's what we needed. I appreciate it, man. Yep. So there you have it. All right. What they say? When your team plays better, you win. So hey, man, his team played better. They won. I'm happy for him. I am. What? I was happy for. I was tipping my cap, bro. I can't tip my cap to him. There you go. All right. Yeah. That how you do it. I thought that's how you do it right there, man. Yeah.
You can't say that's what we needed or that's what we wanted.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
especially
is.
Not in college football, where
yes, it is.
All these games matter a lot.
Oh no, of course they all
is it
matter.
2 losses for JMU
That's
right
our second
now?
loss. Yeah. So of course they all matter, but just in the sense of we know how we feel. We could play that game 10 times. We feel how the outcome is going to be, but hey. You got to do it.
Was he right on the vibes, though?
No, not at all. Not
JMU was overlooking them?
Not at all. Not in that sense. Like, honestly, JMU has no reason to overlook anybody. With you're still young, and you got a new head coach right now with 80% new roster. We don't overlook anybody. But at the same time, it's like, all right, cool. You won. We happy for you. We know we finna come back and do this week. So that's why
they both in the Sun Belt?
Yeah.
He's saying GSU is number 1 in the Sun Belt.
Mm-hmm.
Who is this guy? Jawoski Webb.
No clue. I just saw him popping up recently.
Well, I know he's been heavy on the Georgia Southern. I'm curious.
Know.
Is he a graduate or is he just a guy that lives down there?
Yeah, I have no clue.
Always been a number 1 fan. Does he use them in college football 25?
Yeah, that might be a squad. Yeah.
I kind of want to know why he likes Georgia Southern.
Give some info. Yeah, it's not exclusive to me. I don't feel like it's it's because you went to JMU thing. I think he might have some connection on there. Okay. He said he played and graduated from Georgia Southern. That's dope then. That's dope.
So he had some intel.
I like it. No, respect. But no, trust me, JMU isn't overlooking anybody. No. JMU just wins, and they win a lot, and they blow teams out. So people get loud on them, but they not overlooking nobody.
He got 2 degrees from there, too. Bachelor's and master's.
Let's go. Yo, that's a vibe. I did hear, though, that, man, they say down there on game day, it's like, I guess, some like music that they be trying to play, I guess, like for the atmosphere. I was like, all right, man, y'all got a little vibe going on. I was low-key pissed, though, Deke, because this is what happened. I was watching all of the game up until the midway through the 4th. I made a mistake. Me and the fan, we had plans over the weekend. And we were like, we were going to go check out the zoo. They were doing those little, like, jack-o'-lantern things, like little Halloween things. We're like, you're going to go down there. It's like, what time should we book the tickets? I said, babe, the game is at 3. Go ahead, book it for 7:30. We good. The initial game time was at 3. It was moved, though, I want to say the week prior to 4. You know, our college games, like, they'll adjust the clock, like, the time the week of. Moved to 4. So, of course, in the heart of the 4th quarter, we had to leave.
Oh, no.
It hurt my heart, bro.
Was it a close game?
Yes, because they started out hot. Like, we were so sluggish offensively. And remember I was saying about the quarterback? So that's why I'm, like, not tripping, because I was like, we needed it because, man, we started out sluggish. The quarterback was sluggish, and offensively, they just didn't get a rhythm until it was too late in the game. Defensively was balling. Like, they showed up like they always do. But offensively, bro, we were just like, come on, man, get it going. And it took till late in the game for them to kind of pick it up. But that's when I had to leave, and I was hot, bro. Shit.
That's what Jawoski says.
Yeah.
JMU started slow, but it was too late.
And they capitalized, so they jumped out to like a 21 or 20-point lead early. It was like, all right. It was like, all right, let's see. And then they start responding, but once again, it was like, man, versus a good team, though, you can't spot teams' points. So that's the part where I'm like, that's what they needed.
Is Georgia Southern getting ranked?
I don't know.
You said good team, and if they're number 1 in the Sun Belt,
I don't think, but I don't know. I mean, it surprise me if a team from there did get ranked from the Sun Belt, because obviously between JMU being ranked multiple times, App State being ranked multiple times, like it wouldn't be a surprise. Nah, I ain't saying that. But that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, they straight. Like, we ain't overlooking nobody. It's just we know what we capable of. If we play like we supposed to play every week, we know how we would come out of that stadium. But when you don't, this is what you got to get. I like it for the quarterback, though, man. I like it.
Who, your guy?
Yes, he's freshman sophomore. I like it. So it's like, yo.
Are you already thinking about next year?
No, I'm just saying in grand scheme of things, like, you have to get some of this to get to what you want to be, man. If you don't have adversity, if you don't have no adversity, if you never experienced that failure, bro, what's going to make you be locked in each and every time, man? I need you to be locked in each and every time. It got to hurt a little bit. Nah. And the only way it hurts like that at times is when you drop one that you go be over here like, man, we should have won that. Oh, we could have done that. And because he's like legit capable. And I think that's the difference. So it's like, you know what you're capable of. But shout out to Georgia Southern. That's why I'm like, they ain't taking nothing from Georgia Southern. Like, they did their thing. Like, yo, would you get the opportunity to make a play, man? Make that play. And they did that for certain, man. They defense look good, though. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like, they defense play well.
Well, let's hope our guy here at Pitt, Holstein, learned his lesson from last week against Cal.
Because y'all luckily this week,
Luckily, we got out of the stadium with a win. Unfortunately for JMU, you guys didn't. But it needs to be a learning lesson. Like, you can't be willy-nilly with the ball like you were. Yeah, because 2 turnovers were almost devastating.
Yeah.
Hopefully that was the lesson. Now we move on. Syracuse this week, Thursday night.
You would much rather learn that lesson
and a win,
or the win. Yes. We had to learn
but maybe you don't really learn the lesson if it is a win, right?
Because we done got out of some stadiums with that, and you'd be like, all right. I mean, we worked it. But this is one of the ones where it's like, hey, man, you ain't getting bailed out today, man.
Kasim Vera has joined the upper room.
Shout out to Kasim Vera, and welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But, dude, that's pretty dope, though, man. The Jaworski Webb, man, he's a double graduate from there, man. Absolutely.
And he followed up.
Yeah. I like that right there.
That was the first time I heard his name in the chat.
No, that's dope, man.
It was, when was it? Thursday, I guess.
Last week, because it started popping up,
Thursday, he called you out.
No, that's pretty dope, though, man. I like it. Heck yeah.
But yeah, now he's back. What, has he been around, though? Maybe
I feel like I've seen his name.
Can attest that he's been a long-time listener.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know how long he's been, but I've definitely seen his name, though.
But he popped up heavy on this GSU JMU week.
Yes, indeed. I like it, though, man. See, when we get to play in the big boy leagues, when we get to have fun with all the other teams out here, man, versus, you know, just the small boy leagues where you don't have that many people to talk to. I like this, man. I'm still enjoying wearing my college gear. Deke, I went down into that daggone zoo, pissed off that I couldn't even see the rest of this daggone game. I ain't even want to pull it up on my phone, Deke, because I'm like, yo, I need to be in the moment with the kids, with wifey. It's like, feel good to have my little GMU on. I'm like, yeah, man, we on TV right now. We on ESPN. All right, y'all see us. Yeah.
Sticky Bubbles says Russ was bailed out by GP and Muth.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see one more game. Too many underthrows and balls in the dirt. He didn't cook. He played well, but not great.
How do you feel about that?
I told you probably, an hour ago. I don't want to hear any of that stuff. I don't. Dude played good. Flat out good. I bailed out by GP, Muth. I mean, the pass to Muth was perfect. I don't know about that throw. There was no underthrow there. Hit him in stride.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know, the whole getting bailed out by GP, the dude's just throwing the ball up for his receiver to make a play. It's not going to be perfect every time. Look at a bunch of the dudes, like a great QB receiver connections.
Have you seen Randy Moss with Tom Brady?
Well, I was going to say, tell me that, right, that's actually a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
But like Joe Montana and Jerry Rice, go look at those highlights. You're telling me every pass from Joe Montana to Rice was pinpoint perfect? No, you throw it up to your playmakers sometimes, and they make plays.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Yeah, in terms of
the balls in the dirt, those are the passes I'm more concerned with, not the ones that actually go for touchdowns.
So to me, I wasn't even tripping on the balls in the dirt because I said he's minimizing the negative play. Instead of trying to hold the ball extended and run around and potentially fumble it or get sacked or do the Will Levis / young quarterback, let me try to get out of the sack and just throw it somewhere. He's just like, yo, let me get.
Oh, and the fact it was in the first quarter, too. Maybe I'm more concerned if that's fourth quarter winning time.
But it's like, let me get the ball on the ground. Let me just dead this play. Let's get to the next one. let's go. To me, that's veteran quarterback play. That's not allowing a bad to become worse or worse to become catastrophic. And sometimes that's what you need from your quarterback. Yo, just let the play die. Like, you don't have to make every play great. Every play isn't going to work. You're not going to be the hero every time. Like, sometimes just get out of it. And I thought that that's more so what I saw. I would agree also. The move play I thought was perfect ball placement with the defender on him. Man, nice job by Move making the one-hander. With GP, he was giving him an opportunity. We hollered about Justin Fields not pushing it down the field as frequently or hitting some of these receivers that we thought were even open. But to see that not only can he hit the open receivers, but he's willing to take chances. But he's going to put the ball in a position where, yeah, either I'm getting a DPI or my guys will get the ball. I'm not tripping on that. But I would also say he was rusty in this first game. His touch on the throws, especially the deep passes, is going to improve. Don't think that, just because what we saw right here, that's the norm. Nah, this is after him not playing in a game since the second preseason game where he took 3 series.
Well, yeah, and then if you even want to go back to regular season, that was like Christmas last year.
Right, because they pulled him in, was it week 12, 13 time frame?
No, it was 2 weeks ago. He got 15 games.
15, excuse me. Yeah. Yes, good call. Yeah. So, to me, when I think of that, I'm just like, yeah, it looks easy to, he's wide open, throw it right there to him. Until you down there on game day, you like, hey, bro, no. It feel a little different. So, I looked at all that, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think it was too many underthrows and balls in the dirt. I thought that he couldn't have asked for a better start. Like, it was pretty dope.
Tons of fun. Says TG tried telling us about Beanie.
Oh, facts, man. This is West Virginia guy right there, man. I know he is going to be chomping at the bit to talk about young Beanie Bishop, but yeah, Beanie looked good, man. Shout out to the homie, man.
Hassan T, 1989, gifted 5 Moats memberships to Eddie Sharik. Simeon McDaniels, Joshua Kilman, GK, and Sticky Bubbles.
Shout out to Hassan T, 1989, being a rock star at life. And to all those individuals Deke just named, welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Hassan T also says Coach T and Russ haters are punching the air right now. Victory Monday.
Yeah, it is funny, man. From my vantage point at times, man, when we see fans that are eager to see the team fail just to prove a point, it's like, bro, why are y'all looking for reasons to?
You'd rather have your takes be right than the team win games.
I'm like, yo,
I'm the opposite. I'd love to be wrong on honestly, a lot of my stuff.
That is what I appreciate so much with you at times, man. It's like, yo, D could be like, yo, F that take, bro. I'd much rather us win. I'd much rather us look good than my take be right.
I mean, you saw it with Kenny last year. Right, I said, we got to stick with Mason.
Bro. But it is so
and that was
many
with
fans,
Kenny being
bro.
my guy.
It is a lot of fans out here, bro. You should be listening like, yo, you really just want to be right more so than this team actually winning. You don't care about the win. It has to be how you want it to be, man. Craziness, man. Craziness.
What's that saying? Would you rather be happy or right?
Yeah. Like, come on, man.
Let's just be happy. Got a nice win.
Russ
play good.
I want to be. I told
We're
you.
in a great spot.
I told you it was doom and gloom. I told you. You'd be like, or look, guys, it worked. We won.
Tons of fun. Thank God Russ didn't do a catchphrase. But if he keeps playing like that, you can say whatever the hell you want. Example.
Oh, okay.
No rust on Russ. LOL.
Ooh.
Nope. No catchphrases.
If you throw it like that each and every week, sure. But you got to throw like that each and every week. You got to ball like that each and every week. Because as much as this praise is
to me, you
today,
got to win a Super Bowl. Then you can do the catchphrases.
Facts. But as much as we're praising it this week, we know if it comes out next week and doesn't play like this, the criticism is going to be just as loud. And regardless if we think that that's appropriate or not, that's just the reality of it. So, yeah, hold off on the catchphrases unless you keep balling out.
Trent Johnson, I'll be in the Berg for Monday Night Football and the Penguins the next day. Will Moats and Deke be in the Great Hall pregame?
Yes, I will be in the building. I don't know who my guest is yet for the interviews. I'm going to be low-key tired too, Deke. we flying right back that morning, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, that's gonna be a long one. That's gonna be a long day right there. I'm gonna try to catch some sleep on the flight, but you know how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Best of luck.
Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy one. It's gonna be a good vibe though, man. You know, and especially if we win in prime time again.
Which we should.
Don't you start that, D. Don't you start that. We're gonna take it one game at a time. We're gonna try our best.
I don't know with Russ playing like that. My takes are.
Dig, no.
I think gonna have some heat to them, like even more heat than usual. I mean, I feel like I've been pretty milk toast with my takes this year.
Dig, no.
We got a guy now.
No, man.
You remember what my takes were like when we had 7? Starting to feel that power come back.
Feels a little good. Yeah, I know the feeling, bro.
Starting to come back.
I know the feeling, man. I know the feeling. But stop, man. Stop.
No, yeah, I'm with you though. I'll try to stay level-headed about it. Because what was I just saying about the Giants? You know, Danny Dimes, frisky team,
Danny
Malik
Dimes,
Neighbors,
man. Yeah, Neighbors look
Giants
good.
defense good.
Brian Dable, yeah. There we go.
I think this was the week where the Giants really showed themselves.
Oh man, Mr. Giants, bro.
They were just a first 5-6 weeks frisky type of team.
Yeah. Which we've seen, there are multiple teams that were actually on.
What's the saying? You might know this better than me. Once you get to Halloween, you know who you are as a football team.
Ooh, okay.
We're getting close to that.
Yeah, we learning a lot.
Yeah, with the Giants.
There's a lot of September Super Bowl champs out there, man.
Just not their year.
No.
Greg Yeager, is wide receiver 2 or Broderick our biggest concern?
No, don't do him like that. Oh, I would say we can win with our current wide receiver situation, and we can win with our current project situation. Now, would I prefer both of them to consistently improve? Yes. Do I think Broderick concerns me a little bit more? Yes. The reason I feel like we can still win with both things as they currently are is because we're sitting here at 5-2. We've had 2 different style quarterbacks back there, one more mobile, one less mobile, but both of those guys have had plenty of time to run the offense, to get the best out of their scenarios. And we've seen running backs with both quarterbacks still with Broderick out there be able to have success. Now, the concern pops up obviously because you are playing a position where when you have a bad play, it's a tackle for a loss or it's my quarterback getting crushed. Both of those things make me nervous. And obviously when you're talking about quarterbacks, they're delicate. We don't need them getting blindsided too much. And we definitely don't need any strip sacks or turnovers because of protection issues. So in that vein, that is personally why for me, I default to say that has to improve. But I think with Broderick, he will be improving. It's just you got to stay on him. He's still a young player, and we can't lose sight of that just because of where he was drafted at. Wide receiver 2, I think, kind of what Deke said earlier, man, if Russ is playing like this, we kind of felt last night, I don't think anybody was in the stadium or even watching the game saying, yo, we're lacking in terms of production from a receiver, or we're lacking in terms of the ability to move the ball through the air. I thought that it was just, I'm going to distribute it to everybody, but I have a little bit more focus on GP and these tight ends. But as a whole, anybody can get a pass here.
I'm still excited for Patterson to come back.
Yeah, Cordell Patterson, I think, is going to be a nice addition. Roman Wilson, I think, is a nice addition whenever we get a chance to see him as well.
I don't think that's happening anymore.
Well, he's a rookie. And with rookies, it's what we have to understand. It's not always going to be perfect, but you just hope that
it's just gonna
physical
be a
conditioning and mentally they're on the same page and they can get an opportunity. I think it's still early on from him. I'm not holding out hope for if it is truly an injury, right? Hamstring, right? If it's just a casual tweak, nothing nuts, at some point in November, I would like to see it. If it was a real pull and he's actually injured, then it's probably December postseason time frame. But I do think we will see Roman Wilson at some point. But it's a lot that goes into getting on that field. It's not just you're talented. It's you got to know what you're doing. And he did miss a lot of football. He's not Russell Wilson, who we're saying has had multiple years of playing at the highest level and doing this. We're saying, yo, you're coming from college.
Still wondering about Brandon Johnson, though. With all that being said.
Brandon Johnson's a special teamer. He's a pro. All right, just let him live, man. Just let him live. Let him live.
Don't even know what school he went to. I hope he makes a big play coming up. I really do.
It's gonna happen. That's how it always is. Speaking of though, we're seeing some of the other cast of guys make plays though, man. You know, guys that you typically don't think, oh man, that's a big name dude. Like we talked about with Dean Lowry. He had his, special teams splash play. Yeah. So just give him some time. He'll make a play.
Potato chip. Do young DBs and defenders ever play possum to trick the quarterbacks?
Mm-hmm.
Like Beanie playing chess and they playing checkers.
Yeah, they do. It's just risky.
So are we saying that Beanie?
You heard what Beanie said?
No. That's why I'm curious. Did he trick Rodgers?
So Beanie said on the first interception where he's running the Tampa 2 hole, he's like, we knew that Rodgers liked to attack the middle of the field, so we showed him this look, and then at the last second, we changed it. When I'm watching the play, I'm watching his hips be open facing the Jet sideline, so I can understand where if you're Rodgers, you're saying this guy can't flip his hips back here before I can get this ball off. So that's why you see Rodgers anticipating, and he's firing it down. And that's why I said with the first pick, I'm like, yo, that was actually a dope play because you see Beanie flip his hips, reach back,
it looked like
and go and make a play. So when he said what he said, I thought that was actually valid, not when guys just try to blow smoke and make it sound bigger than what it was.
Is Rodgers going to sign that ball for him?
Ooh. Rodgers been going through it, man. They said this is like the most picks he's had in like a 3 or 4 game span, man.
I believe it.
Yeah, he how'd you feel about
He had
Rodgers,
3. Man? What do you have? 3 in the London game?
Yeah, 2 versus Buffalo.
Yeah, 2 yesterday. How do I feel about Rodgers?
Yeah.
He got outplayed by Russ.
I like how you talking.
Yeah.
I like how you talking.
I mean, Rodgers, he's still good. They're just not a team. Like, they're just...
It's a collective.
Yeah, they're not a team. He could still play, for sure, but they're just not right. It might take a few weeks. It might not even... I don't know. It might not even happen this year for them, but... Rodgers can definitely still play.
It has to happen this year, though, don't you think?
I'll tell you this, Russ outplayed him, and Steelers got a way better value for Russ than what the Jets did for Rodgers.
Ooh, okay.
What did it cost the Jets to get Rodgers?
Okay. A couple
second-round pick?
And 2 coaches?
I was going to say, including coaches, the $50 million contract. I think he did a reworking, but still, big-time quarterback money. Traded draft picks to get him.
Yeah.
Cost them some coaches. Cost them going out to get new players.
Yeah.
To make Rodgers happy, like a Devontae Adams,
you got a lot
Lazard.
of Green Bay. You got a lot of Green Bay.
And Nat Hackett as your offensive coordinator, whereas Steelers with Russ basically just got him for free.
Yeah.
And he just plugged along in the system.
Mm-hmm.
Kept quiet, humble. He goes for 260, 3 touchdowns. Rodgers, what do you have, 270, 280?
Yeah.
2 picks and a touchdown and a loss. It's pretty crazy.
I like it, man.
Shout out to Omar Khan. Shout out to Tomlin.
I like it.
Seriously. Joey Weaver says shout out to Pops for his 40th birthday today. Love you, Dad.
Let's go. Happy birthday to Papa Weaver in the building, man. Shout out, man. 40th B-Day. Let's get it. Joey Weaver, I thought you was old because you got the picture of Lambert as your profile pic. I was like, yo, how your Pop's 40? Wait a minute. But yeah, you might be just a young cat with an old soul. I like it, man. We did have the Super Bowl IX championship team in the building last night. It was good to see the fellas pulling up, looking young and spry, like some champions. Shout out to the guys.
Yeah. Jay Kula. Deke told me that if the Steelers make it to the bowl, he will host a Super Bowl watch party at his place. Everyone is invited.
Dang! Drop the Addy, Deke. Drop the Addy. Deke, if they go to the Super Bowl, you got to do it, bro.
Super Bowl watch party?
At the crib.
I might be doing Bleacher Report.
Oh, he go big Thomas for the. That's crazy. We try to invite the whole chat over,
those are
bro.
Always, those are always after the game. So
we try to invite
maybe
the Jet.
I could do the watch party. Maybe everyone could be in the post game.
You see what I'm saying? That'll turn the whole post game vibe up. They ain't never seen a post game like this.
Yeah, we could all be on the Super Bowl pack.
That's all I'm saying, man.
Presuming we win.
You got that Jets pack, or is it a Rodgers pack, or is it a Devontae pack? Because Devontae could have chose us too. And I was feeling some type of way watching him look super clean in that all white, him next to Rodgers. I'm like, bro.
That would have been a good trifecta.
You see what I mean? Like, yeah, you might as well get after it.
I could have had a fake fans pack, too. From, remember 2021 when the Steelers went on the road against the Packers and You had a bunch of Steeler people saying, "Oh, let's try to get Rodgers for next year," and I said some things to them.
You did.
Yeah.
You called them some names. I remember that.
I said some things to them, and I don't regret it at all. It was actually probably one of my best moments on the podcast.
I felt uncomfortable when you said it. I was like, oh, Lord. Yeah.
Was I wrong?
I don't disagree with you, but it was just like, wow.
Spitting facts.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe I'll be smoking that pack, too.
Yes, young boy, 24. You remember you was here. I was like, oh, Lord.
I wasn't wrong. We have our own legend quarterback here. Why do you have a wandering eye for another one?
Yeah.
For everything Seven has brought to this organization and city, while the dude's still playing, you're talking about entertaining Aaron Rodgers to come here next year. Give me a break.
See how my eyes open. I was like, oh, Lord, that's who we are.
Give me a freaking break.
Oof. Yeah. Well,
we should have had Seven back anyway, too. Should have had him for
respect.
Last 2 seasons.
Respect.
But I digress. Hashtag the sabotage. If you know, you know.
There it is. It was a moment.
Yeah, I mean that Rodgers moment was all part of the sabotage story, kind of. Honestly, fake fans turning on Seven. Boomman 318. Imagine if we had some of these fans as GM.
Oh,
LOL. They would have traded Russ to the Dolphins and would have had the stank face once they seen him turn up.
Hey, look, Russ would be down there. Tomlin would have been fired 30 times by now. Let's see. Yeah. Highsmith would have been gone. Who else am I forgetting, man? We wouldn't have wanted Dante Jackson at all. Yeah, he would have been staying put. Yeah. All right.
To be fair to myself.
Oh, and Dan Moore. Dan Moore would have been cut, traded. Not actually, because we wouldn't have traded him. He sucks.
I would have traded him.
Dan Moore would have been making burgers at Burger King the way that people have talked about Dan Moore at times, man. So shout out to the people.
I would have definitely traded Dan Moore at some point.
Oh yeah, and Najee. I forgot about Najee trade. You're right, Leah Warren. They do be saying that we were supposed to have traded Najee as well.
We would have had a good replacement for him in my mind
Abanikanda.
with Abanikanda. Yeah.
How's he doing this year, by the way? I haven't even checked, honestly.
Well, if the Jets gave him an opportunity, you'd be able to see.
Respect.
It's their loss.
Brees Hall look good though, man.
I know he's good.
He look good.
I know, but they're holding Abanikanda hostage. To be fair to myself about the Rush trade talk, I would have done the deal if it was what I said, a second round pick, a first round pick. The Dolphins, none of these teams would have given that up. So it's not like I was out here trying to trade Russ or seeking to trade Russ.
You were just saying if the opportunity presented itself, you would entertain.
If you were gonna give me a second round pick or a first round pick, I'm not even gonna front. But they weren't doing that.
I'm not hungry. I ain't looking for food. But if you bring me something fire, I might eat it.
They weren't doing that.
I got you.
They weren't doing that.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. Russ would still be here if I was the GM. Is what I'm saying.
No, actually, Russ wouldn't be here if you were the GM. We know this. No, I'm not gonna let that one go, dude. We know who would be here if you were the GM.
It depends on when I take over as GM.
It doesn't really. It doesn't, because you would call him right now if you was the GM. We know this.
What?
You calling that man if you the GM?
Who
you think is who? You
Seven.
ain't know. Of course,
yeah.
That's your first call, and Abanikanda is your second call. I feel like one.
I thought
you
were gonna say Kenny.
No. You like Seven way more than you like Kenny.
No, I think in Ben's timeline he retires after last year. I think in his timeline probably.
In his timeline?
Yeah.
That's not your timeline though. In your mind, he's still playing right now.
No, he's
all right.
You let Seven make the decision. I just unfortunately don't think in Ben's last year after 2021 he made the decision to retire. The Steelers forced him out.
And I think that could also be true.
My thing was just let Ben make the decision. Let him, if he could still play, which I thought he could. We just needed to get him a better line, get him some better receivers. I think he plays these last two. He at least plays in Kenny's rookie year, and then maybe he goes for a second year in 2023. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's the timeline. He retires. So we're on the QB market, and I guess Kenny's not even here. If I'm the,
he's not. I'm gonna say it,
he's not even here. So I don't know who am I looking for then. Yeah, maybe I do sign Russ for $1 million.
I don't think so, man. I think so. I think you don't do anything to upset the hierarchy, which is quarterback, and you say, yo,
but Ben's not here. He's retiring.
It'd just probably be Mason then.
No, because we never get to see those 3 Mason games, those 4 Mason games, if Seven's here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was laughing too because every time we bring up a band of candidate, they have a little bit of fun with his last name. You know, Abandoned Kanda, Abana Wakanda, Abracadabra. I'm just like, bro, y'all got to stop this. I'll be trying.
Just wait till my man gets some PT. Just see what he can do.
So, yo, they don't want to believe in your guy just yet, man. They don't want to believe in him.
Yeah, I think I'm picking up Russ. Like, we have a vacancy at quarterback after Ben retires. I think I'm picking up Russ for $1 million. Maybe I'm doing the same thing. I'm trading for Fields. Trading a 6th-round pick for Fields. I got my quarterback room taken care of. But in the meantime, we probably win a Super Bowl with 7 in those additional years. We already got a 7th. Russ is talking about trying to get an 8th.
Hey, man. We'll go ahead and do it this year. It's all good, man. We'll go ahead and get the 7 this year, and then everything will work out.
As long as Russ don't talk about getting the 7th.
This is correct. We'll talk about it. You just keep one day at a time in.
Joe Gervis, any chance we resign both, like AR and Green Bay, with Love? So he's asking if we still have Russ and Fields for next year.
I mean, I think that there is a possibility. I just think the scenario is very different than the Green Bay scenario because Rodgers obviously being drafted out there and spent as long as he did. Them bringing in Jordan Love was kind of their version of us bringing in Mason Rudolph when 7 was here, except for them, Rodgers was very temperamental at times about, yo, am I going to retire? Am I not going to retire? Am I going to leave? Am I not going to leave? And he kind of forgot that part, but that was why they went and drafted Jordan Love, because they wanted to make sure that we're good regardless. And then that was partly why Devontae Adams left when he did a year or two afterwards, because it was, once again, he's kind of wishy-washy in terms of if he was going to play, was he not going to play, and everybody would have to wait till he would do the darkness thing and then come back out the darkness. So that was, more so that scenario. I think for us, it could work in terms of both of those guys re-signing because of their relationship. I think the way Russ has really taken this leadership role and trying to more so, I don't want to say like big brother / mentor, but that's kind of the vibe that I perceive with him and Fields versus it being competitor. Like, I'm not looking at you as you're my opposition. I'm looking at you as, man, you're the guy that I want to see be successful when I'm gone. I think if that's the case, I think both of those guys would be a lot more open to re-signing with both of them being here, because for Russ, he knows the longer I'm in this position, the longer it keeps Justin Fields from getting an opportunity. But at the same time, Russ also knows, man, the next time Justin Fields get an opportunity, that could be my last time taking a snap in the NFL, because are they going to say that I'm old now if this is a year from now, if this is 2 years from now, or if it's later this year? What does that look like the next time he gets that opportunity? So I think for both of them,
with Fields getting that new perspective, I think it's going to matter for him. I really do. I think it could be very helpful.
I do too. So that's the part where I just think that for both of them, if they're looking at it from the right perspective, I think that they would see how it's advantageous for both of them to come back if everything continues to progress how it's progressing. Now, like I said, this was one game, so we got to make sure that that is sustainable. I personally feel like he's going to continue to play at a higher clip, but he still has to go out there and do it.
Yeah, I think it all depends on Fields' market. If someone's going to give him a chance to start, because
he's played well.
Yeah, I think there's also something to be said for that, just actually getting a chance to be out there.
Yeah,
and
he
playing.
played well, man.
I wouldn't blame him for wanting to take that chance, as opposed to, let's say Russ plays good and everything, and we end up signing Russ to be the guy for the next couple years. Like, I think, Fields wouldn't be wrong for exploring other options as opposed to just coming here and being the backup. I also don't think it would be the worst thing if it wouldn't be a long-term deal. I think just 1 year deal to come back here. I don't think that'd be the worst thing either. He's still young. He'd be 26 at the time.
Yeah, either way, it could make sense for him, because I could also see the scenario where he's saying, I don't want to be or fall into the trap of being labeled as a backup. Yep. Because once you fall into that trap, we know that's how you're going to historically be viewed. I could also see him staying because he doesn't like the potential situation that he'll be walking into.
We've talked about that as well.
Yeah, it's like, why go to a Tennessee when we're seeing how the Will Levis thing is playing out, and we're like, okay, yeah, we think that this quarterback plays, just the quarterback position better, but they got more invested in this guy, so it doesn't matter what you're doing. We're still going to default and give this guy every opportunity. He might not want to walk into that situation. He might say, of all the opportunities, I'm familiar with this. I know eventually this is going to leave and I have more shelf life. I can still buy myself time right here. And who knows, I might mess around and play early if something happens to him.
Yep.
So I can see where it can make sense for a Phil's standpoint for either opportunity, whether that is staying or leaving right now.
Yeah, I think Fields loves it here. The way he's talked about the Steelers and being in Pittsburgh versus Chicago.
I'm sure it's refreshing to an extent. because he's been talked about a lot more positively here, whereas in Chicago, with the expectations being what they were, along with at the point of last year them knowing that they were going to have the opportunity to have the number 1 overall pick, it got to the point where it doesn't matter what you're doing positively. We're talking about, we got the chance to change our franchise by getting this guy. So, yeah, you're never going to be good enough right now. Whereas here, think about how we've talked about it. We're coming from the Kenny, Mitch, and Mason and Duck era, so to speak. This is refreshing when we're watching Phillies and we're saying, yo, man, this dude is not only winning, but, hey, he ain't turning the ball over. Oh, look, he using his legs. Man, maybe we should keep him over Russ. Maybe we should start him. That's something that he probably hasn't heard in a while in terms of that type of support. So that's another thing that I think could also be an added bonus.
Hollywood 931. Let's talk about the future of this O-line. Looks okay.
If they could just stay healthy, I think that's the big thing. I thought Ryan McCullum, Mason McCormick, I like what I saw from those dudes. We obviously know it's Malu and Dan Moore, man. Those guys are showing some more consistency. And with Broderick, man, he still has his moments. To me, if we can just stick with the same group for a couple of weeks at least, I think that we'll see some more improvement from them, because I'm already seeing certain things where they have gotten better. But I just think when you have to shuffle the deck so many times, that's the negative element of it in terms of it disrupting the consistent development. But yeah, I like what I saw from the dudes though, man, last night, man. I thought they played well. I thought they were physical, and I thought that they competed, man, in terms of the pass blocking. We know the Jets, number 1, Will McDonald was the one guy that we said you got to worry about if we're talking one-on-one pass rush. He was questionable if he was going to go or not. He ends up playing. That's the guy that we obviously saw beat Broderick. Outside of that, they typically got their pressures through the stunts and the blitzes and stuff like that, and I felt like we did a good job of picking up those the pressures, but also moving the pocket with some of the play action pass stuff to offset some of that. And Russ doing just a good job of showing the different arm angles. He hit the one pass to move where the pressure's right here, and it's like, whoop, let me get up out of there. Oh, all right, it's coming here. Let me just get rid of this real quick. Like, I thought that those are certain things that the O-line also, or that Russ and Arthur Smith did to also complement the offensive line and make sure that, they were having a better day than what I'm sure at times people would anticipate them being able to have.
I think Arthur Smith deserves a ton of credit.
Absolutely, man.
What
Absolutely.
a game. Because there was talks about him potentially wanting Fields more than Russ throughout the week, and just how he was answering questions and how he's defended Fields up to this point. For him to have a game plan like tailored up for Russ like this and just
highlighted
for it to work. Yeah, it really did. I mean, you saw Russ in the shotgun a lot more doing passing stuff. It was great. Like, I think that's why he was the best offensive coordinator available this offseason. Because with Smith,
the experience.
Yeah, and with Smith too, what his bread and butter is. It's the run game. It's the heavy personnel. But you saw him adjust to Russ because it wasn't just all that. It wasn't the same type of formation, the same type of personnel that it was with Fields. Way more tailored to Russ, and it worked out.
I would agree.
Russ made him look good too. I mean, that's the other thing. It was like a little tandem there. Russ played good. Smith was dialing up some good stuff. It was great.
Yeah, I would agree.
Great all around.
I definitely agree.
Frio J, we have 2 top 32 quarterbacks. Life is MFing good, man.
Facts. I like it. Yeah, he said top 32. I
think that's an understatement.
I'm like, oh, I know.
I'd say,
man.
Oh,
Deke, hold on, Deke. You about to do it already, Deke?
Well, Russ is back.
Deke,
so
I know you about to do it. Oh,
we know
Lord.
he's safe. He's good.
I'm just going to take my word and Deke.
It's all about where I have Fields ranked. No,
Deke said, oh, don't worry about it. I got this.
Between top 15 and 20. Two top 15/20 quarterbacks, I'd say.
I appreciate that. That was cool. I thought you were gonna go top 5. You never know. You never know.
No. I mean, Russ is. I'm not gonna do that to him at all.
I said, come on, man, just let him live, man.
He can handle it though. Like there's Russell Wilson, he can handle the hype. He can handle all that. I'm not like my take on Russ is gonna go viral here or anything, unless I wanted it to, because my takes back in the day, I mean, they'd be getting some attention.
This is true. But we're just gonna let him cook. This simmering. It's a slow simmer. Just.
Yeah, I'll stay chill with it for now. For now. But yeah, Russ, he's back, dude. Like, he's back. And Fields has been playing good. I told you, he was playing pretty much like top 10-ish level, I thought. But there is still something to be said for bigger sample sizes and whatnot. So we'll give him the 15, 20 range right now.
Okay. I like it.
Might need to look. This isn't something.
It's a lot of quarterbacks out there.
I was going to say, this is something I probably could look into a lot more and actually go quarterback for quarterback, team by team. But I don't think I really feel like doing that right now. Right now or anytime soon. Especially with Fields being the backup. Ethan Leach, get Myles Garrett. I heard they're getting calls.
Yeah. No,
then he says JK.
No, they I did see they were taking calls though for Myles Garrett now.
Wait, they're open to it.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I was like, yo, what's Cleveland doing over there, man? Is it like full on like y'all there?
I mean, we should just do that to do that.
Right.
It's just one of those things like, oh wait, we get a chance to get the Browns' best player, the guy that is like TJ Watt's rival and stuff. Like, well, yeah, let's just try to add him.
Because they said Myles Garrett, they brought him up, and then obviously they were. I saw where they were bringing up Max Crosby in Vegas. Obviously, I want to say because he had talked about basically like, I'm not here to like lose. Like, I'm not doing like I don't want my career to end. Like, he didn't say I don't want my career to end, but he basically was like, I'm not here for like rebuilds. I'm here to like wherever I'm at. Like, I'm competing to like win, and that was kind of the thing where they were like, oh, is he potentially one of those guys that might be on the market as well now? But yeah, I did say that about Myles Garrett though, and it made me think. I was like, you know what? A lot of people talk like they don't want Myles Garrett. Now, that pass.
I think it would just be funny. I think it would just be an hilarious thing to do.
It would, man. Do you know what that would do to our defense though, bro?
Well,
we don't need that. That'd be absolutely insane.
Obviously, yes. I mean, it would make our defense awesome. But I just think with the T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett arguments, and the Steelers-Browns rivalry, the fact that they're so far down right now, it's just like. Well, why don't we just do it to do it? Like, it'd be fun. Let's just take their best player, like their franchise staple, and add them to our team. We'll have the two best pass rushers in the league.
Because I was going to say, wouldn't it be our first time taking a first rounder from them? We did that with Justin, the corner.
A little bit of a difference here.
True, but he was still a first rounder within like the first 3 years of being a first rounder. So it was like a fresh first rounder, but he wasn't Myles Garrett, not in the least bit. No.
I mean, we would have to give them a lot.
Everything, a lot of picks. It's Myles Garrett.
It would be funny to do.
But he's under contract though, so that has to be taken into account.
I mean, we'd probably have to trade Highsmith.
It's a strong possibility.
We'd trade Highsmith and Herbig.
And Herbig and a draft pick. We'll be over here like, yep, we got TJ Myles Garrett. I think we're happy. We're not rotating.
Would you do it? 2 first rounders, Highsmith and Herbig. Why you want to
put me in this position? I rock with Highsmith and Herbig. This how you do it, right? This the setup. Yo, I rock with Highsmith and Herbig like on a major level. Like, they some dope dudes. Like, I like them as like not just players but as individuals. We know obviously, man, Highsmith knows peoples. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if it's Myles Garrett we're talking about, that's the whole TJ Watt combo. It's like. It's just a little bit more with Myles because of who Myles is. That's why Myles is Myles. I mean, it's like you said, would you take Mike Parsons? It's like, yo, you mean I can have him with this? Like, do you know what that would do with that other one? Like, yeah. That's all. He has a defensive player of the year.
I think it'd be awesome.
He has a defensive player of the year. He has a defensive player of the year.
Yeah,
like, what are we talking about, man? He's a
no, that would be part of the trade. He has to
give the D4 up?
Yep.
Give it back to TJ, man.
Yep.
Give it to TJ. But you catch what I'm saying. It's like,
and then you can earn your own here in Pittsburgh.
Who you could
try to earn it rightfully.
On? That's who you putting the attention on.
Well, that would be the benefit of having him. Yeah. It'd be awesome. And now, with Cam Hayward playing the way he's been.
Now, what does that do to the rest of our roster, though? Because money-wise, we're going to be...
We could work that out, I think.
Okay, make the cap.
We could definitely work that out, at least for this year.
Yeah. I'll be open to it, man.
Hopefully Russ takes a team discount for his next contract.
Our pass rush would be insane. That's what I do, though. Like, good luck trying to block them two dudes, man. Good luck trying to block our front one.
That's a good deal. If they're actually open to trading Myles Garrett, if we gave them 2 first-rounders, Highsmith and Herbig.
I just don't know if they would do it because it's us.
Well, I agree, but is someone offering them something better than that?
Probably not, because that's a lot.
Yeah.
But we understand how we operate, and we know those are 2 pass rushers. So we're basically saying 2 pass rushers and whatever draft compensation for the technically reigning defensive player of the year in terms of Myles Garrett, who we know historically. Fair enough, but him, TJ, Parsons, like they're all Crosby's, like that's all in the same breath. They speak of them all, and they can all look at each other. Now it's us regular people that look up at them, and we say our guys better than those guys, but they only looking at each other when they talking. They ain't everybody else. Yeah, Miles looking down on a lot of pass rushes in this league, man. So yeah, that's probably just like, oof. Yeah, I ain't tripping on it. But I don't know what team would be desperate enough to offer any type of deal that would beat that, the two legit players. Because Highsmith was a dope player in his own regard. It's just we're talking about really good versus potentially great player. It's do you want the Kirk Cousins, the Dak Prescott, or do you want to go and get the Burrow, the Jackson, the Allen, like you want to go to that range? With that, you know what comes with that. But it costs a lot to go get that. Or you could feel really confident with the Kirks, the Sam Darnolds, the Jared Goffs, that range. Still have success with it.
Yeah, and I think it's different in terms of quarterback versus those positions too. Because you can have multiple guys on the field, whereas it's only one quarterback, and quarterback most important position on the team.
Absolutely, man.
But I get your point. Hollywood 931, they may as well send Garrett Wilson. Ooh. He was playing for us last night anyway.
Ooh.
Also, this isn't the end of the world for Justin Fields. He can learn a lot.
I would agree.
You know what?
He said Garrett was playing for us last night.
Yeah, if he actually is available. I did see.
I thought it was Mike Williams. I saw Mike. They said we was linked to him, I thought.
Well, yeah, that's true, but I did see there are some calls for Garrett Wilson. Like the Jets are fielding calls.
See, I didn't know if they were actually taking him. I just saw. I know for certain I saw the Mike Williams part. I just didn't know that Garrett also. So
I don't know if he's actually open for trade, but there have been calls.
Like, I would much rather move on from Mike Williams if I'm the Jets. I would much rather move on from Mike than move on from Garrett Wilson right now.
Absolutely.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to get rid of Garrett Wilson right now. That would actually be really stupid. But I hope they do it. For us. I hope Garrett Wilson doesn't go to like the Ravens or something. Joe Gerbish. Russ was working on the sneaks with the sled pushes.
I like what I was seeing with it, man. Now, you were watching the TV broadcast with the volume on.
Yeah.
What was the communication with the QB sneak? I think it was it was the third and short or whatever. We challenge it this spot. They say that they're gonna move the ball because technically the yardage on the spot was off, but then they did the measurement and it was still short, so we still technically lost the challenge. What the heck was that, bro? What, you know what I'm talking about?
At the end of the game?
No, the Coach Tomlin one. It was earlier in the game.
Oh, I don't remember this.
Yeah, dude. It was an earlier one. It was like they basically said that he was correct in the sense of they had to adjust the spot of the ball. But then when they actually went and remeasured it, then they said, oh, it was shorter line of game. You technically
What series was this?
I can't remember this. It had to be what, second, third quarter time frame? The game was still respectable, yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, now I see y'all in the chat. They said it in the chat. Yeah, it was a fugazi spot. They had to move the ball back. Yeah, it was weird, but it was after the challenge though. Yeah, it was. They definitely challenged it, and then, man, I'm gonna have to look it up too, man, to see the exact play. But they for certain moved it back. So I'm like, all right. I thought they moved it up. I didn't know they moved it back. But yeah, it was like, yo, so it's third quarter. Okay, it was in the third quarter. Jamal Dickerson said, shout out to the third quarter.
Okay.
Then. Yeah. It was on a Jalen Warren run. That's what it was. They said Jalen Warren got scrammed. That's what it was.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was on the Jalen Warren one. Okay.
I do. Yeah, bro,
because I was like, yo, we were sitting in the stadium, and that's one of the things that kind of sucks about being there. You don't get to hear some of that commentary. I'm just like, yo, dude,
Hunter Mason says spot of the ball change challenge was still successful regardless of the down change.
But then they went and measured and was like, nah, you're short. It doesn't make sense to me, man. But shout out to the referees reffing it up, I suppose, man.
Young Papi Benito, shout out to Danny Smith.
Shout out to Danny Smith, man. Chew your bubble gum loud and proud for the homie Danny Smith, man. Big time. Also had one earlier from Black and Yellow, Texas still. And as you already know, we live, baby. He says, they pulled Najee when he was heating up. Hashtag contract. He thinks a little bit conspiracy going on. I don't agree with that all the way because Najee did get a chance to get that touchdown at the end.
He got the touchdown at the end.
Yeah, they weren't trying to score, but Najee was like, I'm going to score. I'm going to go ahead and get in his zone real quick. I'm going to holler at y'all. I like that. Shout out to Najee.
Yeah, he closed out the game.
Yeah.
King Whooper, first Najee, now Russ. The fake love is real.
Ooh, call him out, King. Whooper, call him out. He said, I'm tired of that. Y'all don't get to show him love. Nah, man, all love is welcome. Bring the love. Bring the love.
Najee might be earning that contract.
Ooh. Ooh.
That might be a discount right
10,
now.
you'll do it? Okay. I was like, how you feeling about the 10? Because I like what I'm seeing, man.
Let's let the season play out still.
Oh, my gosh. You was ready to pay Fields at the 6th game.
If he keeps...
You want to pay Najee?
No, whoa. I said the season's still got to play out for Fields. There was people in the chat saying, should we get Fields before he hits the market?
Fair enough.
He runs up his price.
But this is Najee we talk. What we seeing now? We know Najee. This is new and improved, but it's still Najee.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Close out the season strong, and yeah, I think we're talking double digits.
Nah. Might have worked out for him that he didn't sign the 50 option.
Yeah, maybe.
Might have worked out for him.
Maybe.
Yeah.
James Skitka, happy Victory Monday, gentlemen. Very
Let's
happy
go.
for our win. Shout out to Jalen Warren, too, along with Beanie and Russ, of course. Realistically, we can expect the same consistent play moving forward. He asked that as a question.
Okay.
Interested in your thoughts.
Obviously, from a statistical standpoint, maybe not 260 plus and 3 tutties every game. But do I think that Russ can maintain that high level of play in the sense of being able to attack these defenses through the air, vertically down the grass, the pre-snap checks, getting us into the right calls? I think that stuff is going to consistently show up. I think the ball security is going to consistently show up with Russ. In terms of the mobility and getting away from some of those sacks, that's going to be hit or miss. He was sacked a lot when he was in Denver. He got pressured a ton in Seattle. He was just obviously a lot more athletic back then, so that's why he avoided a lot of the potential sacks. But outside of that, I do anticipate a certain floor with Russ, and that's just who Russ has been throughout his career. So I do feel like a lot of the elements that we saw yesterday will be able to consistently show up going forward.
Next, we have Ralph Miller.
Shout out
the
to
third.
Ralph.
Shout out to Corliss Waitman. He was clutch when the offense struggled early.
Mm-hmm.
Does Cameron get his jaw back?
If Cameron is healthy, I think, next offseason we'll see what it looks like. But he has to be healthy, though. Now, it was his plant leg, not his punt leg. So that's added benefit for him. But obviously this is slightly different because of the injury. But to me, the Corliss Waitman success that he's having this year, I would almost put him in the same situation as when I look at Justin Fields. It's like, this is success, but it's still just this season. We haven't seen a large sample size like we've seen from a Cameron Johnston, who his track record, even down in Houston, has shown that he not only can do this, but he does it on a year in and year out basis. And we even saw that to an extent in the preseason prior to him getting hurt. So I just, hopefully for Corliss, he keeps it up. But I do think that if Cameron is healthy, he's going to get every opportunity to get his job back.
Waitman did have a full season with the Broncos.
He did.
And it was solid, but it still wasn't to the degree of, I think, any of Johnston's
seasons.
Yeah, with. He was with the Jets and the Texans, right?
Yeah, he just
Was it
got a
3-3?
Pro Bowl under his belt as well. Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think Waitman has necessarily been to that level, but he did have
been
a solid
doing well,
season
though.
with the
Yeah.
Broncos, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing thus far.
I would
would say
agree.
in a perfect world, just have him duke it out. But
Yeah.
if Waitman keeps punting like this, he might find himself an opportunity somewhere else.
I would agree.
Where,
Yeah.
a team's actually going to give him the preference
Chance
on
to-
being the
yeah.
starter as opposed to here. He's the one that's going to be on the uphill battle with
Mhm.
Johnston already having the contract.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been punting really good.
No, he definitely has.
I don't think
Definitely
we've had
has.
much of a drop off. Champ Junior 15. We actually looked like an NFL offense last night. Not gonna lie, I wanted Justin to keep the job, but I'm not mad. Whoever can help us get number 7, I'm for it.
No, respect on that. And part of me still wants to see Justin as well, because it's like, dude, you were putting together a nice start to your season while you were here with this new setting, and we still hadn't leaned all the way into your style of play like we just saw last night with how they leaned into Russ's style of play.
Well, yeah, and even just you could tell Russ was able to make all those audibles
Absolutely.
and all that stuff, whereas there's reports saying that Justin couldn't do any of that.
Nah.
And maybe rightfully so.
Him from himself.
Yeah, maybe rightfully so.
And that's the part where, from a coach's standpoint, they're looking and saying, I don't care what fans think he's capable of or what fans may want to see. I'm going to put him in the best position to succeed, which means this is going to be the best thing for the team to succeed with as well. And that was why they dumbed it down for Fields, in the sense of not allowing him to have the full autonomy at the line. And the same thing with Kenny at times, with Mason at times, because we said with Mitch kind of had some of that freedom. But we also saw how, and that's part of why you don't, because we can feel like this guy is capable, and then you put him in that situation and he falls flat on his face. So for Coach T, he's like, man, I don't need to know can you sink or swim in week 1. I don't need to know can you sink or swim in week 4. Like, let me help you develop, and then when it's time in December, cool, let's find out then. But that's part of why he treats some of them younger dudes like that, or why even with a Justin Fields, who's still young league-wise, he would treat like that as well, even though he was in Chicago starting, because in Chicago he had that autonomy. And we saw how it was a little bit too much at times.
Gregory Collins, Russ looked a little unlimited.
Ooh.
Victory Monday.
Mr. Unlimited. And shout out to your 10th super chat as well, man. We appreciate you from the heart, man. But yeah, he said he stays neutral, right? Just even kill. Never too high, never too low.
Yeah. DJ Inspiration, smoking that fake fans pack. Ooh. Go Steelers.
Said that thing hit.
That's a vintage one.
I like that. Shout out to the fake fans. If you know, you know.
Zay Breezy, Steelers. Here we go. Happy Victory Monday, Steeler fan. Let's go Dodgers too.
When all these Dodger fans start popping up, this is kind of crazy. Why you like Dodgers all of a sudden? You don't even own a Dodgers hat. Oh, Dodgers.
Deke and Moats, any chance we still go get a receiver after seeing last night's game? And hope we all have a good week.
Respect, man. Respect. And all love to you as well, man. Hopefully you have a great week as well. And that the Dodgers, I wish them nothing but the best. Nothing but the best. But, oddly enough, I think that we still might be looking for a receiver. As much as as much as I felt good about last night, I think it almost encouraged me to kind of what you said.
I want to go get Cooper
Go
Kupp.
get a guy, because it's like I think we got a lot of what we already want, and we're seeing that even with the current cast, they are capable. But imagine if you put something even more productive in there, what that might do, what that could look like. So, and it appears, at least after 1 week, that you have a guy that will be able to utilize those weapons to a higher level. So,
and if we got like a D-Hop, who I think would probably be the most likely trade candidate right now.
Yeah.
Russ has enough cachet to him. Russ has enough just firepower that he's not going to have to force the ball to DeAndre Hopkins. He's going to still let the offense come to him.
I would agree.
Whereas it might be a little different with Fields. Say we got Devontae Adams in here. That might be a lot.
Yeah. And D-Hop, I think, would respect Russ a lot more than I think his current situation. Because
by default, he'd have to.
Well, I just think with whether it's Will Levis or Mason Rudolph, their production at the NFL level doesn't hold a candle to Russ's production. So if I'm not getting fed, or if we're as a whole struggling, I will respect the proven guy and be quiet and ride with the proven guy way longer than, all right, Will, you haven't done anything just yet. Mason, you haven't done anything just yet in terms of league success. So I'm going to be pissed off even more so with the situation. and I could see him potentially having that with the Phils also. But with Russ, because of what he's done league wide for so long, you're not gonna deal with that. Like, it's that respect where he's like, nah, bro, this dude has done that, and he's a quarterback, so he's had to actually be the guy driving while having these moments as well.
And I think the fact that we have Tomlin too.
Oh, 1,000%, man. You know that.
That's
The
whole structure that we have, because D-Hop hasn't been around any of that his whole career.
Nope.
Texans kind of dysfunctional. Goes to the Cardinals.
Arizona definitely dysfunctional.
Didn't do anything there. Tennessee, and now come to the Steelers. Like, our goals are set for playoffs and Super Bowls and all that. So I feel like he would almost have to fall in line.
Yeah.
Not rock the boat. It's like, dude, we just got you out of this shitty situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is probably the best you're gonna get.
Yeah.
One of the best you're gonna get.
I'd be hot to go to Baltimore though.
What?
I'd be hot if he ended up in Baltimore though.
Yeah, we don't need them getting any more weapons.
Nope.
Red says Deke must be hating how Najee looks now. Now, why would I hate Najee looking good?
Dang, they said Deke rather be right than be happy. Nah, Deke ain't on that. Deke ain't on that at all, man.
That could be your opinion, but that's not how it actually is.
Deke ain't on that.
No way. I want Najee to go. I want him to win Offensive Player of the Year. I want him to win MVP.
I want him to win angry runs. Just win angry runs. That's all I want him to win.
I can aspire a little bit higher than that, but
dang, angry runs is pretty cool.
It's
man.
Cool, but yeah,
I like
Offensive
how
Player of the Year.
cool
I'd be
guy,
pumped
man.
about.
Yeah.
Pro Bowl, All Pro.
See, I need GP to get Offensive Player of the Year.
Listen, I still think though, Jalen Warren, Cordell Patterson is needed in this offense.
I would agree also.
But don't get me wrong. GF, Mike Williams will be a Steeler, and Tomlin will have him elite like you do with all players. That trade makes too much sense for us.
If he plays like last night, yes. If he plays like how he's played at other points this season, no. But I think that's kind of why he is who he is right now.
I mean,
it's up and down with him.
He's always been that way, though,
I know.
too. Like, he's been a solid receiver. I don't think he ever really lived up to the hype that was coming out of Clemson, though.
Yeah.
Couple 1,000-yard years with the Chargers, but he's been banged up, hurt. Never really developed into being that guy. Mm-hmm. And then with the Jets, this is probably his worst season yet thus far.
Yeah. But this
is the oldest he's been thus far.
Yeah. And this is also probably the craziest situation he's been a part of, too.
That's true. I wouldn't be that excited if we got him. I'll be honest. He's better than what we got as a number 2 on the outside, but if we can get a D-Hop, we can get a Cooper Kupp. There's probably about 5 or 6 names I'd prefer over him.
I would agree. I think those other guys are more accomplished, more proven. I do like the upside with Mike, but I do also caution myself because the same way you hear me talk about I don't like waiting a long time for the potential to turn into production. That's part of with him. It's like you have this potential of you can be a guy, but it still has never really developed into that just yet. I think the impact of him potentially being here, though, is now instead of Van Jefferson and Calvin Austin having to match up against a number 2 or number 3, now they're facing the third best corner. You know what I mean? Like, that gives them better opportunities versus right now when they're going out there, it's like, yo, you're still going to face the Dante Jackson of this team, you know, and that's something that for some of those guys, it's not as easy to deal with. For some of those guys, that is a little bit more of a challenge. So, and we saw it even last night with the Jets side. Because of them being able to throw out a Devontae Adams, a Garrett Wilson, that ended up putting a Mike Williams on who? When we were in base, Deshaun Elliott. Deshaun, who's been balling out, but that's the matchup that you kind of get versus if Devontae Adams isn't there, you're going to have Garrett Wilson on Dante Jackson, and you're probably going to have JPJ or vice versa on Devontae. But that's the impact of having that third or another name or a guy that can produce to that extent. So I think for Mike, the benefit would be that. I think the ripple for the depth receivers, I think it opens up better matchups for them.
You know what? A thought just came into my mind.
All right, talk to me. What you got?
It might actually could work because I think Mike Williams going from the situation that he was just in, and Rodgers blaming him, and Rodgers probably not being.
He did low key though. He said you got to run the right route, man.
Well, I think I saw some replays of it and some people talking about it. I mean, I think Rodgers was actually right, but
run the right route, man.
You still shouldn't be throwing your teammates under the bus.
Run the right route, man. Run the right route, man.
But anyway, for him to get it from that situation where Rodgers not really an uplifting guy.
Now you got Russ the extreme.
Yeah, you go to the extreme opposite. You come here. As soon as he comes here, Russ is gonna be like, "Oh, hey, Mike, we're about to win championships here,
I'm so
man.
happy
Like
you here,
me
brother.
and you.
Oh man,
I remember you being out on the West Coast, Mike.
brother, man. Hey,
man,
Lord.
you and GP, you're gonna fit perfect in this offense.
Listen, brother, we're gonna do to you guys, man. Oh man, it's gonna be amazing, man.
I could see it working because of that. I think
good
Mike
energy.
Williams' confidence probably is an all-time low, but as soon as he comes here, Russ is gonna think the world of him.
He's an energy. Russ is an energy guy. He's a force multiplier in terms of the positivity. You need some of those guys though, because you got doom and gloom guys. You got pissed off guys. Sometimes you need the hey man, don't worry about the guy. Hey, we're gonna work out. Always optimistic, man.
Everything happens for a reason.
Like, you catch it right?
Yeah.
Hey, new beginners, brother, man. Don't worry about it, man. Hey, he might drop a Bible verse on him. Hey, man, when I was reading this morning about David. Phew, hey, man, you heard about David, right? Yeah, it was pretty crazy with him, man. But hey, it worked out, brother. All right, man. Come on, man.
Yeah. All right, so you know what? I'm not opposed to Mike Williams coming here.
Hey, what does it cost to get Mike?
Nothing.
That's what I was saying. Like, bro, it's conditional 6, conditional 5th. Because this contract isn't crazy.
No, it's just 1 year. It's the same thing with Hopkins. Yeah. It's going to expire after this year.
And the longer we take to go acquire him, the cheaper it is, too. So, which we got, what, 2 weeks?
It's the 5th, November 5th.
Yeah, about 2 weeks. Yeah. Election day. Craziness.
Mid-Eastern Poppy. How much y'all think Najee got fined after last night's post-game conference?
About Mid-Eastern Poppy. Hey, bro, I like your name. That's crazy. I'm the Mid-Eastern Poppy. I like the creativity. Now, outside of the shoot, when he realized it was B. Marsh, is that the only thing that we talking about, right? I didn't think he said. I didn't think he said anything crazy. I don't know. But if that's all it is, Roger Goodell, he ain't gonna be tripping on that. He's gonna take that in stride. But yeah, if there was something else that was said that he's criticizing referees or anything like that, then yeah, he might get got, and that's real life. Oh, they said he dropped the N-bomb. Got you. Yeah, all right. Yeah, he said, shout out my guy. I got you. Deke, you know how to be like, my guy, that's my guy. You say, yo, shout out to my guy. Yeah. So, yeah, if he shouted at his guy and he said, shout out my guy on that microphone, on the camera, yeah. It might tap his pocket a little bit. It'd be like that. Yeah, because Roger gonna let some stuff slide, but I don't know if he would let that one slide. Yeah. In prime time. Not in prime time. Everybody might have been asleep though. Could have been, after FCC regulations might change after like a certain this dude Najee crazy. Maybe it's the Bay Area running backs. Have you seen Beast Mode? When Beast Mode be talking, I be like, bro, Beast Mode, you really just saying it on camera? Hey, you just say whatever. You be like, bro, y'all, whew. I ain't got that. Yeah, I ain't got that one. Yeah. So maybe it's the Bear. Shout out to the running backs though.
Bear Pod says, I have a Steeler and Dodgers tattoo. LOL. And he says, let's ride.
All right, man. You about to make me wear a Yankee hat all day, man. All week now because of you, man. All right. I like that. I've been trying to be chill. I ain't put on no sports attire.
You got a Yanks tattoo?
I don't have a Yanks tattoo, no, but I do actually have like a ton of Yankee hats though, man. Like, I rock with them. You know that. So yeah, I'm good though. I ain't tripping. But yeah,
you getting a Yankee tattoo if they win?
No, I'm not getting no Yankees tattoo, man. The only tattoos I'm getting potentially are people that have actually employed me, and I've earned that. You know what I mean? That's just how I view it. But my perspective is very different at times.
Which tattoo would you get first?
Don't see you doing a lot, man. Don't do me like that.
Oh man,
that's what you do. Man. Don't do me like that, man. Don't do me like that, man. I don't even want to think about it just yet, man. Maybe you have to do chronological order. All right, just do it in the
man.
order of do it in the order that everything happened. I suppose, man. I don't know. I'll cross that bridge when I have to cross that bridge. I don't have to cross that bridge right now. In fact, I'm gonna cross the Purity 666 Matt. Shout out to Matt because he's shouting out my American Psycho t-shirt. All right. Little Patrick Bateman in the building. All right. It is Halloween season. Y'all know how I feel about the month of October, man. I be trying to spice it up and not wear, scary movie stuff all day, every day, but I like my scary movies, man. I can't help it.
You got 10 days left.
I know, and the problem too is I've been too committed to like my teams winning. So when my teams have been like winning and playing, I've been wanting to like put on their gear, and it's been a pretty good season for me, man. It's been a pretty good season.
I wanted to rock Pitt today. That just reminded me because we got the Thursday game here. I wanted to let the Syracuse people in the chat know
Gotta
what's
let
up.
them know, man.
Because this is the only show for the week, right?
Well, I was gonna say actually maybe tomorrow potentially.
Okay.
I was flirting with the idea. I was gonna actually talk to you afterwards.
Okay.
But yeah, I was flirting with you. I was like, you know what? If you down, we might could. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still back and forth because tomorrow's the last day before we travel. So you know how that goes. It gets real chaotic in the household.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
I know there's Syracuse people in this chat.
Oh, there's for certain.
They're always chirping me out of nowhere.
Yeah.
They're like talking trash to me in like July.
But they definitely been barking at you, man. Yeah.
This is the game.
Yeah.
At home.
At the crib, and y'all.
It's at home. Yeah,
too?
I got the schedule all jacked up. We have Syracuse and Clemson at home actually. There's a game in between. I think it's Boston College in between on the road.
Boston College. Ooh, talk about a team that started out hot and then kind of.
Clemson's in a 2 or 3 weeks at home.
Yeah.
SMU later in the year. I think that's on the road.
Is Clemson a Saturday game?
Yeah, I think it's a normal game.
That's fire.
I think so.
I'm pulling up, man. I gotta pull up to a game, man. I'm pulling up to a Pitt game, bro.
See Holstein.
I gotta pull up, man. I gotta see what it look like, man. But then again, I don't know, man, because are y'all Rabbit fans down there, man? I don't want to get got, man. They get kind of crazy. I seen.
No, it's light. It's Pitt games are light. I'm just being honest.
Deke, you ain't gonna lie to me, bro.
No.
Deke was like, nah,
Pitt needs its own stadium. That's part of the reason why we need to get a stadium over in Oakland. Yeah, it's a cool vibe. I'm sure if we're undefeated when we're playing Clemson, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good crowd. It's gonna be it'll be good. It's still not gonna be to the Steelers extent, I don't think.
But it still be a good vibe though.
Yeah, I don't think anything for Pitt's gonna top backyard brawl atmosphere. Because like even this year, the backyard brawl wasn't. I mean, it was probably 80% full, and that's a disappointment.
Okay.
The first backyard brawl though, when they brought it back, that was a couple years ago. That Thursday night, it was the opening night.
Right.
That was crazy. That was probably, I've said it before, top 3, top 5, just Heinz Field experiences, Heinz Field atmospheres. Yeah. You want to talk about Steelers and Pitt? It was wild.
I like it.
I don't think we're gonna reach those heights anytime soon.
Dang, respect. If y'all keep winning though, it can get spicy. If y'all keep winning,
we gotta get our own stadium.
That helps a ton.
We just gotta get our own stadium.
That would definitely help a ton.
Little Bull over in Oakland sits like 50,000 people. It'd be perfect.
Students could just walk to the stadium.
It'd be perfect. G. Alexander, Wagwan Moats.
What up?
The Gotham pack hit hard. Pay Najee Fields and let Russ cook.
Yeah.
Go get a solid 2 receiver and make a push for 7. Don't about a thing.
Okay, Wagwan. Yeah. Shout out to G. Alexander, man. Always appreciate you being with us. And I would agree that Gotham pack hits extremely hard, man. Except when you're from New Jersey, that's what it's like. You know, should have been from New York. And then man, I ain't tripping on paying any of those guys, man. I like all of what you're saying, and along with the wide receiver part as well, man. I think we're in a good spot, man. But I like what I saw from the guys. Did what they supposed to do. In terms of the receivers specifically, man, did what they were supposed to do.
GF asks why AB why LOL.
Yeah.
And then says not surprised.
Yeah. Just yeah. AB was AB, man. We not that, man. For people that are in that, man, they teach their own. All right, that just ain't our vibe. You know, in terms of the public getting political and all that, man. Stay. Y'all live y'all lives, man, forever. Whichever side. Just, live your best life out here, man. Shout out to the homie. He was
You
doing.
sure you don't want to proclaim support for either candidate right now?
Listen,
It's election season.
Listen.
Like you said, other Steeler players, former Steeler players have been.
Other guys, Deke,
I think people want to hear.
Deke, no. Me and
who
you.
You want to sponsor?
No, me and you. We're sponsoring ourselves. Okay. I sponsor Arthur and Deke and the podcast. That's what we sponsor. Yeah, we're going to leave it at that. Y'all do what y'all do, whoever it is, whoever y'all support. And I'm sure at some point, even on this stream, y'all going to get the back-to-back ads for both of them anyways, all right? So, yeah, enjoy it, all right? But, yeah, I ain't in any of that. I like my sports and my politics separate, okay? I remember them times. I stick with that. I learned, all right? Keep my sports, my politics. I don't care about what you taking the knee for. I don't care about any of this. Keep it separate. I just keep separate, baby. All right. I'm getting me in trouble.
John McDormand, Mike T's greasy conversation in the chat is Mike Tomlin letting off some steam in here, and I refuse to believe otherwise.
Hey, Coach T in the
it's
chat.
His burner.
Hey, man, he over here letting it off. Let him know. Look,
What's
man.
What's he saying?
Well, he was talking fly a little earlier.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
What was he saying?
It was just, you got to believe in him. He was giving you reason to believe in him. But it was like earlier on in the show than when I saw it. Now the chat didn't jump like 30 times since then. But yeah, it was early on. He was like trying to let people know, like, yo, this is really him. I'm like, I don't think that's you, Coach, but sure. Yeah. I like when Coach
I would love it if it was him. I'd also be very concerned if that was him.
I would as well. Remember, it was times where I think Matt Canada had a burner in here. We know you got baby moms that have burners in here. We didn't see multiple. See, Mike T. Nice say, stop playing on my name. See what I'm saying? Like, it was popping up multiple times earlier in the show, and they had like it was like a little thread going on of, yeah, then he kind of like, stop, now you back. Shout out to Mike T, though. Yeah. But sometimes, the what y'all call them, the lower room, that side of the chat gets kind of crazy at times, so I try not to like get caught in that the wormhole, because it gets real crazy over there. Yeah.
Glenn Hunter, what are the chances that a Broderick Jones gets a chance at left tackle before the Steelers completely give up on him?
I don't think it's a scenario where the Steelers are entertaining completely giving up on him. But at the same time, how does that opportunity come about if Dan Moore is still currently playing the way that he's been playing? Not saying that Dan Moore has been perfect, but Dan Moore has been playing really good. So with that, I think you're still going to have to figure out how that opportunity comes about. If it's Dan Moore getting hurt, then sure, Broderick gets an opportunity. But if we're going to keep waiting on Dan Moore to fall off the cliff from a play perspective, I think that Broderick could be waiting for a lot longer than he's anticipating. So to me, I just think that from the Steelers' perspective, they know they're just trying to get their best group, their best five out there. And right now, Dan Moore and Broderick give them their best five, but Dan Moore right now has only shown the ability to play left, whereas Broderick, we all agree he's the better athlete. That's why they're allowing him to go out there and play on the right side. What would you rather have? Broderick struggling potentially at left, and now you don't even have Dan Moore out there? Because that is at times what we've recommended, right, for alternatives, but we always default and go back to what does the tape show us, and that is showing us that Dan Moore has been the most consistent tackle that we've had this season and at times even last season. So that's the part where for Broderick, I just don't know how that opportunity would come about for him to get over there to the left. But yeah, I definitely don't think they're going to just move on from him prematurely either. I think if it ever came time for them to go in a different direction, I think everybody would be in agreement with the decision. I don't think it's...
I'd assume it would just be Dan Moore signed somewhere else this offseason. We bumped Broderick to left and Fautano's right.
There you go. Yeah, that's... Yeah. But he's saying
that'll
like,
be
the team like gives up on him. I'm like, to give up on him? I'm like...
So, yeah. I think if I had to bet, we see Broderick at left tackle before we give up on him.
That's what I'm saying. Like...
Because I'm guessing Dan Moore's not back next year. He might have priced himself out of coming back. With us,
why would you though? But why wouldn't you bring him back? That's the other question.
We'll have other guys to sign and stuff. And like you just drafted those two tackles in the first round.
Yeah.
Unless you want to trade one of them. Trade one of them and re-sign Dan Moore. I just don't think you're going to be able to keep all three.
But the only reason I was asking specifically about Dan is because we've actually seen Dan pan out as a draft pick thus far, whereas with Broderick and with Troy, to varying degrees, the jury is still out on both of those guys. With Dan, we've seen him improve each and every season to the point where we do feel like he's going to get compensated nicely. So if you're the team, like, that's
if
all.
you can't afford it, it might be one of those scenarios where you have to kick the can down the road and do restructures and stuff. But yeah, you're just gonna have you're gonna have some guys you're gonna have to worry about paying.
Because we saw them pay Chooks before Chooks had the cachet that Dan Moore has built up from a just actually consistent starting. Like, they committed way more to Chooks at a way earlier stage. So that's the part where I just don't know if it's like a complete foregone thing that they would allow him to leave without at least entertaining making an offer to him.
Yeah, that's fair. I would say more likely than not he's out.
Yeah.
But
he won't make his most money here. If
right.
that makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
he would definitely have to take a discount to stay. Whereas I think he could really who was the guy? Chris Hubbard. Like when Hub left that one time to go to
even
Cleveland,
like Bud Dupree.
Bud Dupree,
it's like we just can't afford the top dollar right now. We'd love to have you back, but given the circumstances of our roster and who we got to sign,
what we can offer you.
Yeah.
And you actually have earned the right and deserve to go get that money as well, man.
All right, I think that's the last super of the day.
I like it, man. It was a pretty good vibe today, then, but it's pretty good vibe in here. I like it. All right, so just to be safe, then. No, I think we're good. Yeah, because man, I feel like we're gonna be in here tomorrow. I feel like it's a strong possibility we'll be in here tomorrow. I don't know yet, but it's
that's your call.
I know it feels good though. I feel like we will. But is that the ball? Let me. Hey, I like it. Wifey just texted me that dinner was here, man. So that's actually perfect timing. But yeah, we're going to be in here tomorrow, man. We'll get something in here. We'll definitely get something in here. All right, so with that being the case, that will conclude today's show. But if you were enjoying yourselves and y'all enjoyed how we did it, hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel. But either way, we appreciate the heck out of y'all rocking with us. And until next time, baby.
Peace.